Tickets there as well. Once again, $25 to enter. We're only selling 250 tickets total. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
What we're going to talk about?
I think first of all we got to talk about this delicious Moscato wine. It's Moscato de Asti. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, they are not a sponsor. So
They're not a sponsor, but it's delicious, and it says it's imported from Italy, but Thomas bought it in Richmond, Kentucky.
Yeah, and Italy's in quotation marks.
Straight from Europe to our front door. So very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I just want to talk about that 175-pound, fully loaded German Shepherd you had running around here a minute ago. Fully feared for my life. Let me turn this down a little bit more. Okay. Fully feared for my life. As he jumped on me and mounted me, maybe his should have mean somebody had made something up. Okay. But I'm pretty sure like official Trump is going to woke this time. And I think that's just check, you know.
Oh, I like that.
It's almost checkmate, but that is a great move. Like I got to give it to him. But yeah, what'd you think about the press conference in Rose Garden?
Is that the one where he stormed off? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't see it, let me refresh your memory. So there's an Asian reporter, and she's got the mask on. Everybody spread out for COVID-19 protocols, and she asked him, why are you turning the numbers, in the United States into a competition?
Yeah, I think she said something like, why are you celebrating this whenever we just passed this death milestone?
Yeah, we just 800,000 people. Oh no, that's way too many.
80,000, I think it was.
Yeah, so contracted COVID and died and that sort of thing. And he's like, why don't you ask China? And it was an Asian reporter. First of all, do you think he knew when he said that?
I think that was absolutely blown out of proportion in this case, because I don't think he directed that at her to be any kind of dig at her or anything like that as far as nationality. That's just because he said he's made reference to China so many times already. Yeah. So I don't think it was anything directed directly at her. I don't. What do you think?
I can see that. I can definitely see that point. It wasn't directed at her, being Asian, but at the same time, as the president, you gotta be faster on your feet than that. You gotta. Well, you gotta understand the optics.
Yeah, you got to, but
yeah.
I don't know. That was just a really wild interview. I mean, after she finished up, the second reporter, I can't remember what she asked him, but he ended up storming off.
Well, the second reporter, she didn't even start to ask her question because the first reporter was still trying to finish, get her point across, and so Trump just skipped her.
Oh yeah, and then he was going to skip her too, right?
Yeah, he was going to skip her because she was taking too long to ask her question, and you just go straight to the third reporter, and the third reporter is like, no, actually, I want to let my colleague finish, and then that's when he just stormed off, like a child.
I know that's. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Before I thought that just because of the information that's out there as far as Biden sniffing people and all the stuff that the Republican machine's been able to put out there, I thought maybe that Trump would have it in the bag, but I don't know at this point. I don't think we know what's going to happen tomorrow. Even so, I can't predict anything.
Remember that South Park episode where
the Deuce and the Turd episode?
No, that was a good one too. But the Little League World Series where they were trying to lose on purpose.
Oh yeah, Randy kept getting in a fight.
Yeah,
that kept getting drunk and getting in brawls.
That's what it feels like. It feels like they're both trying to throw the race. Like both sides are trying to throw the race on purpose, and it's like, damn it, he's out stupiding us. Oh, he just came out with
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if a third-party dark horse candidate just emerges at the last second. I don't know. They said that maybe Hillary still may jump in, or who else? Can't remember, but they said I don't know. I don't know. It may be Biden Trump. We'll see.
And just split the ticket. You think it'll happen if something like it were to happen, it would happen before the primary?
They said that the convention would remove them and put somebody else in or something.
That is pretty crazy because then at that point you're really just saying our vote is just whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. So those primaries and stuff, they were just
I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be interesting if it did. These are what they call unprecedented times.
The only way that would be acceptable is like Biden would have to have like a stroke or something where it was just like, okay, I can't run. We can't have a whole primary all over again.
Right.
So let's find somebody. Like that's the only way. And then who would they put in at that point? No way it'd be Hillary.
I tell you who would have a chance.
What's that?
It'd be just completely a shot in the dark, Hail Mary move, but maybe put Michelle Obama as a candidate. I think that should be an extremely strong candidate.
She would, but don't you think it'd be weird to put somebody in that didn't even run in the primary? You know what I mean? Because there's like certain steps you got to get to be on the ballot, to be on the primary.
Well, you got to remember back in the 2016 election, Trump got elected, so I guess we got to think that we enjoy shaking things up as a country now. So
that is just like a reality TV kind of move, just like at the last second we have a mystery candidate.
Yeah, it's like a
twist.
It's like a episode of Raw where they're like, "Who's the mystery partner going to be?"
Yeah,
and find out at 10:00, and then you tune in and it's.
We just hit her music.
Yeah.
Don't treat me like a woman in China. That's awful. Did you watch the AEW pay-per-view?
The WWE pay-per-view? Mm-hmm. The Money in the Bank? No, I didn't.
You didn't? What about the
I read about it and watched some of the highlights, but I didn't sit down and watch it.
Anybody get thrown off the roof?
Yeah, but it wasn't completely like 20-story drop. It was like a roof and then like a sub-roof, like the next story down. But they Rey Mysterio and somebody else got threw off.
You think it was them or you think it was a stunt double?
Oh no, it was them, but they didn't. Like I said, they didn't throw them all the way to the
20 stories down.
Yeah, it's just like the next floor down.
Huh, that's still pretty.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Pretty ballsy. Who was it? Who's he wrestling?
This is the Money in the Bank match. So it was who all was it? It was Otis and Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles. Like I said, Otis already. But it was a whole group. They were just competing to climb the ladder to get the Money in the Bank briefcase at the top of the.
So AJ's back. I thought he like set up the company and then.
Well, no. Last thing we saw was he was literally killed by the Undertaker and thrown into a grave. So I don't know.
Like what was the setup for that?
It was what was it called? Boneyard match maybe? I can't remember. But they
Buried Alive match.
No, it was like a boneyard. They had it cinematically filmed out in the dark and boneyard. I think that's what it's called, boneyard or graveyard match. And they had this big empty grave dug, and Undertaker just yeeted him down into down in the grave and covered him with dirt. And last thing he saw was his hand sticking up, not moving.
Huh.
and then he just came back with, and everybody's like, "This is really a wasted opportunity," because he should have came back with a whole new gimmick, like a haircut or a new outfit or something.
Yeah.
But he just came back like nothing happened.
But didn't he go somewhere else and wrestle for a while after that?
He's been in WWE since Royal Rumble of 2016, 2015. I can't remember which one.
Because I thought like he pretty much was like F this company pretty publicly and left.
Oh, no, I think you're thinking of somebody else.
AJ Styles, and he's got like the jumping clothesline or something like that. Huh? What's his finishing move?
The name is escaping me right now.
What does he do?
Yeah, he gets you in like a modified pile driver and just falls forward with you. I can't remember what it's called. Styles Clash.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you always like on his pictures. You always see him like jumping through the air.
Yeah.
Like a big clothesline or something, or like a flying twisting fist.
Yeah, but also he does that. But also Roman Reigns does that. You think of Roman Reigns?
No, it's definitely not Roman Reigns. I'm not getting them mixed up.
Okay.
Did you see the Jordan, the ESPN Classic with Jordan, and he's talking about Isaiah Thomas, and like Isaiah Thomas when they finally beat the Pistons, like they had the Jordan rules, like we're gonna foul Jordan as hard as we can whenever he comes into the paint, and then when they finally Jordan finally gets over, they leave the floor without shaking the Bulls' hand.
I did see they had the 30 for 30
Oh crap!
special on the Bad Boys, and I saw that.
And which one did you see? What episode did you see?
The 30 for 30 the Bad Boys, where it was their last run with Bill Lambier and was it Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas? I think
For the Pistons, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the story of their last year. And Dennis Rodman, whenever the Bulls beat him.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's probably the one you saw. And then and then Isaiah Thomas was court like, yeah, I should have shook his hand or whatever. But he didn't like back up at all. Instead, he was like, yeah, when we beat the Celtics, they try to walk off the court, and I just ran over and I made sure I shook their hand, Kevin McHale's hand before you get off the court. So basically, he was just like, yeah, it's a douche move, but I didn't let the other team get away with it when they try to do it with us.
Right.
I kind of lost respect, and it says a lot because I don't know if you remember.
What's weird is, man, I never, I knew about the history of that. Like Bill Lambier. I mean, hell, he had Bill Lambier's Combat Basketball for the Super Nintendo, if you remember, where you just beat people playing basketball.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I don't. Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
I remember Barkley shut up and jam.
Yeah, they had that, and then they had Bill Lambier's Combat Basketball also.
It was pretty much the same thing.
I think it was like a futuristic setting, but it wasn't just regular basketball. It was more physical, definitely. But that's the whole point, because Bill Lambier was just a physical jerk.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a goon. He was like a basketball goon. It was a goon move.
Yeah. Just see that hockey movie, Goon?
No.
With the guy, what's his name? Stifler from
American Pie?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. You gotta check it out.
Is he a goon or whatever?
Yeah, he's like this hockey player he's kind of like the enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. You'll love it. I think it's on Netflix.
It sounds like no, not the Tooth Fairy. What's the one with The Rock? He's a hockey player, and he starts off he's a goon.
I don't know of any movie where The Rock's been a hockey player.
You never seen that?
Is that the Tooth Fairy?
No, at first I thought it was a Tooth. It is the Tooth Fairy. Yeah.
I thought he was a football player.
No, you're thinking of that's the other movie he's in where he's just a football player. But I think the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, that's why he's a Tooth Fairy because it's a hockey reference. Mr.
Okay.
Teeth. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, and that one he starts off as a goon and he's telling kids, he's like, yeah, you might be a good hockey player, but there's 200 hockey players just as good as you. And then what about at the high school level? He's basically just telling kids not to follow their dream.
I think that's pretty sound advice.
Yeah, I mean, look at us.
So, am I misremembering, or was there a movie where The Rock was also a babysitter?
No, I think you're thinking of.
Is that Vin Diesel?
That's Vin Diesel, the pacifier.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, pretty parallel career. I heard they didn't get along, like they don't like each other.
Really?
Yeah, like on they did Fast and Furious or whatever.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, and there's like a lot of friction there. I guess of like who's the alpha male in this situation, or I could be making it up. I could totally be making it up.
Oh, here. We'll go.
Is that all the spit? Oh, thank you. You saved me all the spit at the bottom.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna do it, Scott. We're gonna have to go back for reinforcements here.
Okay.
In a minute, we'll see where we are.
Okay, now that we're talking about Vin Diesel, what's some your favorite Vin Diesel movies?
I never got crazy into Vin Diesel.
Did you watch Pitch Black?
No.
Man, you gotta check out Pitch Black.
Which one is the one he's Riddick? Is it?
Yeah, it was the one where Pitch Black. I'm pretty sure it was actually the first. In fact, he was the Riddick character in that one. Mm-hmm. But then they made a Riddick movie off of that.
The video game, it was a video game first.
They made a video game. No, I think it was originally a movie. It's called Pitch Black.
No, I'm almost sure the video game was first.
You sure about that?
I'm almost sure.
Okay.
I'm like 97% sure. And it was kind of like Hitman. And then they took the concept of that and made it into a video game.
It's an alien movie though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
That was really good. And Boiler Room's pretty good too. Did you see Boiler Room?
Which one was that?
Where it was just that they were set up as these people trying to sell investments and stuff. And they were sitting in a room just making phone calls, making money.
That
I think
sounds
that was
familiar.
actually Giovanni Ribisi, I think's his name.
That sounds real familiar.
Yeah.
Kind of like like that. Oh, what's this big sales movie where everybody like Alec Baldwin's in it and
Wall Street?
Al Pacino,
Oh,
and it was like Alec Baldwin's best role ever. Coffee is for closers, and he's giving them the big speech.
you know what?
You know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. As long as you know what I'm talking about. That's the only thing that matters. Nobody else is watching.
I saw the something randomly on Twitter that they're talking about remaking Scarface.
Yeah, I did see that, but I can't remember what they said.
I didn't look into it. I just somebody tweeted. I was just like, please don't do this. This don't need to happen.
Yeah,
and I completely agree. I don't know any of the details about the movie, but why would you? That's strictly a cash grab, in my opinion. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about the producers or the director or the actors, but it's got to be just a cash grab.
well, I'm not even worried about that. I'm more thinking about this generation with the Scarface. You know what I mean? Like as influential as 19-year-olds are now with trap music and stuff. You're gonna give them a Scarface? No, that's definitely the last thing.
Friend sent me a meme earlier. I'll just show it to you. Speaking of trap houses,
Dude, I had a friend of mine lost a Pee Wee's Trap House. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was looking at like the crime rate in Louisville in like the last month or so because a friend of mine, like their child had got shot, and like I wanted to just kind of research kind of what happened. And it is every 2 days. Every 2 days there's been a shooting. At least every 2 days.
I heard it was getting so bad. People were just waking up and stretching and going to grab their coffee and looking outside. There's just a dead body in their yard.
Yeah, like on certain streets. I know they installed those cameras. Like whenever there's a gunshot.
Oh yeah, they recognize the sound.
Yeah, immediately, and it tells you like where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, like there's an automatic response to it. And that's what the chief of police was saying. Is like, forget COVID-19. Like this, people getting shot every day. That's a pandemic. Right here.
Yeah, that is.
Like we're losing way more people to that. What do you think about the case? I don't know if you heard it or not, but okay, so.
Oh, it's I already know.
Yeah, I sent you. Yeah.
It's made. If you go on Reddit, that's just all over every subreddit.
So just let me recap before we go into it, just in case anybody hasn't heard the story. So Brianna, I want to say Taylor. Don't quote me on that.
She's an award-winning EMT.
Yeah, yeah. So she's an award-winning EMT in her home, sleep. The police do a no-knock search warrant, but
I think they were plain clothes, right?
I didn't know. I didn't see if they were plain clothes.
That's what the comment section said in the Reddit post I read. They may not have been. I don't know, but they said they were plain clothes.
But I know their statement was we did identify ourselves, but they got a no-knock warrant.
But it was the wrong address.
Well, I saw two different stories. At first, it said it was the wrong address, and then the latest story I saw said that it was the correct address, but the person they were looking for was not there. Like it was just like a friend of Brianna's. It wasn't his residence.
And I think I also read that the person they were looking for was already incarcerated somewhere.
Yeah.
He's already in jail.
That is it's pretty big mix up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody didn't communicate that very well. But anyway, so they execute the search warrant, and the controversy is whether they identified themselves or not. They come into the house, and they come in, shots are fired, and Brianna's boyfriend is there at the time, shoots back. Second Amendment, you don't know what's going on. You wake up in the middle of the night to gunshots. He's defending himself. Like I don't think anybody's arguing that point. But the police shoot back. They get the shootout, and Brianna is the one shot and killed.
Just laying in bed asleep.
Yeah, laying in bed asleep. Not hurting anybody. And I think a police officer got shot in the leg, and I think the boyfriend got shot, but non-life-threatening injuries. She dies. He gets arrested, and I think he just got released on bail.
Oh, he got released?
He did get released like today on bail.
Okay.
Not released like you're free to go. He's on bail.
Yeah,
Probably because of COVID and stuff. There's like, okay.
And also because it's getting nationwide attention, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't help. But the police are pissed. The police came out in a statement. They're like, I can't believe you let this dangerous criminal out on the streets, quote unquote criminal. No criminal record. I think he went to like 2 or 3 years at Western Kentucky University, played football. Brianna, like you said, got an EMT award and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they tried to like find some dirt on her that she quit, and like the Louisville EMT was like, don't hire her again.
What does that mean?
It doesn't no bearing.
The fact is, she could have been a criminal herself.
Yeah.
And if she's sleeping in bed, it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. She was not in the middle of a crime.
Just like whenever, was it in Dallas? What was his name? Started with a B, that was just hanging out in his apartment, and that off-duty officer came in and she thought she was in on her apartment and shot him. I remember after that, they were like, oh, well, hold on now. We searched his apartment and we found a bag of marijuana. Remember that? No,
I don't remember that. I don't even remember them.
Yeah, they issued that statement and people actually went bananas over that. They was like, you kidding me with this? Because whether it was their intent or not, it certainly came across like they were
trying to justify.
Yeah, trying to be like, well, no, look, this guy, even though he was in his own apartment watching television, and she came in and shot him dead in his own apartment.
Yeah,
it just came across as they were trying to paint him in a bad light and try to sway public opinion about. Now, wait a minute, this guy he was smoking the reefer.
Yeah, in his own apartment, chilling. But I don't like it. It's tough. Okay, so I don't think the police went in that day. It's like, okay, we're going to go shoot somebody, unless your theory is they had some crooked history together, and the police were crooked. This guy's crooked, and they needed to get rid of him somehow, and she got caught in it. I can't imagine anybody trying to say that this girl was.
Oh, the Dallas thing?
No, I'm talking about in Louisville.
Oh,
yeah. Well, the Dallas thing, the one theory I heard about that is they might have had some kind of prior relationship together.
Yeah, I heard that too, but that's the thing. I think it's just speculation.
Oh, sure, it's pure speculation. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun though.
It's fun to explore other theories. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the official story was that he was just sitting there watching television, and for whatever reason, she was like, "Well, wait a minute, this."
And the door was open. But...
Yeah, or she walked in and she's like, "Now wait a minute, he put new furniture next to this guy."
Yeah. Somebody came into my apartment, robbed it, and replaced it with their own stuff. Those sons of bitches. Yeah. And they're still here.
What was that Mr. Bell show where he's like, and they hung up pictures of himself all over the place?
Oh, Your Honor, was disgusting. What was that? What was that skit about? I do remember that.
He's like, just sprinkle some crack on him.
No, that was a stand-up.
Oh yeah, that was the Killing Him Softly, right?
Yeah, that was stand-up. We talked about that, but yeah, I thought I remember a sketch where
there was one. No, maybe that was the stand-up too. That was the stand-up also.
It was a stand-up. Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking of the one where it was like if the roles were reversed.
And Bill Burr is like one of the detectives, and he comes in. He's like, "Yeah, Your Honor," and his wife threw his titties in my hand.
Yeah, I was thinking that was the same episode, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was the stand-up we talked about that.
Okay. All right, we'll get on topic. So, where do you come down on this? As far as the Louisville shooting with Miss Taylor.
It's a bad look no matter how you look at it. If you shoot somebody dead while they're sleeping in their bed, I mean, that's definitely not a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just the idea of a no-knock warrant in plain clothes, if that's what they did, I mean, good Lord, what would you expect to happen? I mean, if you don't roll up and don't have marked police cars and they just roll up in undercover vehicles and come up in plain clothes, and I don't know how they announced themselves. I'm pretty sure they didn't stand out front with a bullhorn and say, "This is the Louisville police. We got a search warrant. We're coming in." I'm pretty sure it didn't happen that way. And
well, that's what they claim. But why? Like, why do you go through the extra steps of getting a no-knock warrant and then knock anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that doesn't reconcile with me. It sounds like they're trying to cover their rear end.
I just think that's something that just touches on a whole broader issue about the war on drugs that we could probably go into
Oh yeah.
later. I mean, how many
Non-violent.
non-violent people are in jail? How many people have been shot or otherwise had their lives turned upside down because the police went to the wrong address because of a drug warrant?
I'm really thinking maybe like 20, 30 years from now, if the world still exists, like cocaine and stuff is going to be looked at like how people looked at tattoos in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the 80s was a big deal. Like you're a biker or, clutch your purse and the guy with tattoos comes by. Now, everybody has tattoos, nurses, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not a big deal. And they're going to be like, I can't believe we actually used to put people in jail for marijuana. You see, that's the first people they let out of jail when people were getting sick. It was the nonviolent drug offenders.
And every time a politician leaves office, how many people gets pardoned because of drug offenses?
Well, I didn't know that. So a lot of those people are drug offenders. They just
I think whenever President Obama, whenever he left office, there were several pardoned several drug offenders.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Just because they're how much does it cost? Is it $60,000 a year or something like that to keep a prisoner in jail for a year? And that's a lot of money. And
for weed, yeah.
Yeah, and I've also been seeing takes from people about how just if you get locked up for marijuana back in the day and you're still in prison for it, and now you're seeing people getting government subsidies to open marijuana shops.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just like it's what is this?
Well, that's like in Colorado when they first was like, okay, we're gonna legalize marijuana. Now we need to figure out like where's the good weed at. So I think they went and they got like a well-known drug dealer, in the area. They was like, okay, we need you to teach us, everything you know about weed, so we can market it. Yeah.
Well, there was also I think I saw that's what the FBI does too, is in terms of getting hackers, right? They heard that they I don't know if they set up their own system or whatever, but then if somebody breaks into it, apparently they track them down. They're like, "Hey, you want to work for us?" I've heard that's happened, so I don't know if that's true or not.
That's one way to get a job. I might try it.
Yeah.
So I really want to look at both sides of this Taylor case, though. So let's approach it from the side of the police side of the story. I want to give them every benefit of the doubt before we break this down. So is it possible that they identify themselves? You think with the no knock warrant?
I think it's possible.
How would that even look?
But that's the thing. They said there aren't any body cams because they were in plain clothes, right?
Oh, is that what their story was?
That's what I read on Reddit. I don't know.
Okay.
But that would make sense because usually whenever the local cop shot the guy downtown, I don't know if you remember that a few weeks ago.
What?
There was a white guy downtown, a white cop, and he was going in a parking garage, and apparently he'd been flashing a gun around campus or something, and he got out with him and shot him, and like every bit of it was on body cam.
I do remember that, yeah.
He had every bit of it documented on a body cam, and
I think that guy was having an episode. Like he had a gun and he was like threatening people. And
well, yeah, but my point is that every single shooting that's happened, the one where the guy was hiding behind the mattress, the one where the cop shot through the windshield as he's driving, I don't know if you saw that one. That one was crazy.
Was that in Louisville too?
Oh, yeah, wow. But they've released so many of them. What I'm saying is that the fact that none of them had a body cam going, so I think that's probably a pretty accurate assessment that they were probably in plain clothes, since there's not a single body cam video being released from this.
Okay, so you think that's like normal procedure, plain clothes, nobody has a camera on. I would think at least.
You think somebody would?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, couldn't imagine any kind of warrant or any kind of SWAT team type situation like that where they're not recording. I mean, could you? Just because of liability.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, liability nowadays, you want to be able to cover your rear end, but
who knows? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll definitely come out, but I just can't believe. My biggest surprise is how much the police are doubling down on their stance. You know what I mean? Like they're doubling down. This guy's dangerous. How's he being let out of jail? If anything, I'd be like, okay, let's wait till the evidence comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't piss everybody off. You don't want to piss off the jury pool, where you might have to go to trial. I mean,
I think given the fact that he's not the guy they were looking for, and the fact that was it his girlfriend or his wife at the time?
His girlfriend.
His sister.
Girlfriend.
His girlfriend. Right?
Yeah.
Given the fact that it's not the guy they were looking for, given the fact that they killed his girlfriend while she's sleeping, given the fact that it's made nationwide headlines, worldwide headlines at this point, you'd think they would just be like, okay, well, we'll just
let it play out.
We'll just let it play out, and that's what that's what the court system's for. But they're doubling down on it and being like, well, he shouldn't have been released. Then what? I don't know why they would be doing that.
Yeah, they're basically saying, you know what it is? It's like World Series of Poker, where they throw all the chips in, and then they just back off from the table like this. It's like, all right, I'm all in.
Here comes the flop.
Yeah, I'm all in. Oh, son of a bitch! And then they walk away. That's what they're doing. They're going all in on this story, and then they're seeing it's like, okay, we're gonna say we're innocent. We're gonna fight tooth and nail with anybody who says otherwise.
That's what it seems like
until we get the chair. Pretty much, which is sad. Like I said, I don't think any of those. I hope none of those officers got up that morning and was like, okay, we're actually just out to get her. No,
I think that's a very, very leap of imagination there.
Yeah,
that absolutely did not happen.
Yeah, I mean, unless, like I said, it was some kind of weird.
No, there was not. I mean, unless some kind of earth-shattering revelation comes to light, that's just no, that didn't happen. I don't. But the police don't just go out and say, "I'm going to go kill somebody today." I mean that may happen, but that's just as a normal.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Well, like I said, unless there's some kind of weird training day scenario where, you know what I mean? It's a known undercover drug dealer. It's like, okay, we got to set him up for this something, and she got caught in the middle. Either way, she still got caught in the middle, even if they were after him.
Yeah, I don't think
the boyfriend.
I don't think that's what happened. I think it's exactly as we're being told at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think it's anything. I think it's just a bad situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's another video, I don't know if you saw or not, about the white guy driving the semi-truck. You saw that one? He goes into a gated community, apparently to deliver furniture in Oklahoma City. And
there's a UPS. It's like a UPS.
There's another one.
Another one besides that one?
Yeah, they referenced the UPS driver in this one.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's pulling out, and he's in this homeowners association neighborhood with
like the gated community.
The gated community, yeah. Apparently, the homeowner gave him a gate code to get in, so he's pulling out, and this guy pulls up in a SUV and blocks his way, and he's like, "Where are you going? I need to know who you are. Who let you in here?" And he's like, "I'm trying to get out." And he's like, "You ain't going nowhere, buddy." Yeah, so they ended up they blocked him in, so he couldn't leave. And then another guy came up, and they just harassed this poor guy, just out trying to do his job.
And the guy's like, I wonder if that was like a marked vehicle. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, if I was to see any kind of big rig or whatever you could call them, like a
box truck, yeah,
coming in, I'd be like, probably legit.
Yeah.
Who's it? What's my bet? All you want to do is, first of all, probably they have cameras. I would think if it's that nice of a neighborhood, but then also, if you see it, just take note of what the guy looked like and what the license plate number was, and then if you hear about a break-in, be like, "Hey, I saw this truck coming in here." It's not your prerogative to go out and block his egress.
I think no. I mean, not at all. I don't know what people are thinking. Like, okay, I'm just going to take matters into my own hands. Like, we're not at that point where like police aren't responding anymore.
No, we sure aren't.
It's not martial law out here where people just need to take matters into their own hands. By no stretch of the imagination, even if it is your gated community, you don't have a right to defend the whole community with arms. Now, if you want to defend your house or whatever, you think your property's under threat, that's one thing. But you'd be like, okay, this is our community who can defend it. Mm-hmm. And the guy's leaving. He's on his way out. Like, the police can't even shoot somebody on their way out from a crime.
Well, plus, whenever they were asking him, I was like, "Where you been? Where you been up in here? Where you going? Who did you go see?" Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to tell you the customer I went to see. I'm
Yeah.
not going to give the customer information.
Yeah. It's like it's none of your business, and they're kidnapping him. If I'm not mistaken, at that point, they're pretty much kidnapping the guy because he
I
wants to
guess.
leave and he can't leave.
Yeah, they're keeping him from leaving.
Yeah, I thought that was definition. That's Rick James stuff. You can't just lock somebody up. Nah, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to handle that situation.
That's for you. What if you were the driver?
Yeah.
And
he called the police. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I'd be calling the police. But
I wouldn't even. I'd just roll a window. I would roll my window up and just sit there and call the police. I wouldn't even interact with them on thing.
Yeah. After that initial.
After it's clear that what they're doing.
Yeah.
I just just roll the window up and call the police. I guess.
Yeah, well, they're probably the move. But what if that guy pulled a gun out, like the driver?
Who knows? That's
would he'd be in the right? I would almost imagine, like.
Well, you mean the driver of the
truck,
the box truck?
Yeah, it's like, hey, I feel threatened. I'm seeing.
I think he should be well within his bounds.
Yeah,
I mean, because at that point, the one guy gets out and another guy comes up, and they're blocks you in.
What if and you got all this expensive equipment in your back of your truck? What if it's a setup?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know what I mean? What if it's the cover story just to get close to the truck and get the jump on you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's. I would think he would be. No, I'm not offering legal advice. I think he would be, right?
I would think so. And he'd definitely been arrested. Would he have got off is the question. But like my brother always says, it's better be judged by 11 than carried by 9.
I've always wondered about that too. Like whenever you see the protesters blocking the road,
if you just
don't back up and then hammer down, but just kind of just start easing. I mean, at what point is it incumbent upon them to just say, "I'm getting out of the way," because I'm not going to get ran over.
Yeah.
Versus you're giving them plenty of opportunity to get out of the way, and they're choosing to not. I'd like to know if there are any court cases that came up over that yet.
That reminds me of you see the little kids fighting. It's like, okay, I'm going to move my hands like this.
Oh, yeah,
and if you don't move, that's on you.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that stood up in court or not. Lisa V. Bart, 1994. I have to look at the court record. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like the end times. I mean, the beginning, if not the end beginning.
Got some conspiracy stuff?
Yeah, sure. I love some conspiracy stuff. What do you got?
Well, do you remember Microsoft filed for the patent for some kind of tracking thing back a few weeks ago? And the number of the tracking patent was 060606, I think it was.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was the patent number, and then and it was related to I can't remember if that was ID 2020 is the one where they're wanting to.
That's through the cell phones, isn't it?
No, that's actually like an implanted chip.
Okay.
Like an RFID chip, apparently. But the one, the House bill that's got sent forward to the Senate, I think, is it's the new one. It just came out a couple of days ago, and it's in reference to contact tracing and giving funds for the authorities to designate people to come to your house, apparently.
To do what?
To do COVID testing.
Oh.
And the number for that bill is HR 6666. So there are
4 6s.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's
still pretty damn close.
It's pretty damn close that you have this one and the other one related to it. The patent number and that one are both straight 6s. I don't know. I just think that's pretty interesting. It might just be a coincidence or.
That's a hell of a coincidence.
It is a hell of a coincidence, isn't it?
Where'd you get what's your source on that?
Come on, I'll show it to you right here.
Okay. While you're pulling that up, I'm kind of like, I'm not against the contact tracing. If you don't know what that is, it's like say you go to your local grocery store.
So this is the official Congress website.
GovTrack.us. Low battery. I don't think it's coincidence. Conspiracy. HR 66. Damn. Yeah. COVID-19 testing region. What about the patent one? The patent that one sounds made up.
No, it's real. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't.
That sounds like. But anyway, contact tracing is okay. So you go to the grocery store and somebody was there that had COVID-19 while you were there. They would go through his cell phone records, like, oh, okay, you were on the same tower as this person, the same location. And they would contact everybody that was at that grocery store at the same time or within that same time frame to let them know, hey, you could have possibly been exposed.
It's a body interface digital currency, and the patent number is.
What's the website? Blood.
I'll try to find
the actual
an actual
like the patent.
Yeah.
Oh, just look up patent number.
Okay, here's Snopes. The Microsoft owned patent 666 about implanting microchips into people. Okay. They say it's false, mostly false, but what happened is Microsoft published a patent for cryptocurrency system using body activity data, and the patent filed is WO 2020 060606.
A1. The number. It's 3 6s, but it's obviously not the same as 666.
Well, I mean,
yeah, that's still pretty damn close. 06. Year 2020 0606.
Yeah, and it's about
cryptocurrency
with your body. So I mean, what they say about the mark of the beast is you have to have the mark of the beast to buy or sell.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just interesting to talk about, keep an open-minded about things, but it's. I don't know.
They had a Netflix series, and I was really getting into it. And it just shows you how easy it is to get sucker. Because I was really like starting to cheer at least for the protagonist of the story. It was I think it was called The Messiah or something like that, and it was about a modern Messiah, and he turned out to be Arabic. Like, so he's raised around Muslims as opposed to Jews, but like around from that same region. And he was just doing a lot of the things. Like he'd disappear in the Middle East, and then the next day he'd be in Washington D.C. After a tornado and like that sort of thing. And it was like it got really really good. But the twist is, first of all, it got canceled. Like they didn't renew it for season 2. But the twist is like his name in Arabic is False Messiah. So if you speak Arabic, it kind of gave away the entire twist of the show. Like, well, everybody else is kind of like, oh, is this guy the real deal? Is he like really the second coming, or?
Yeah.
What's
the name of it?
I think it was called The Messiah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it pretty good?
I was really into it.
Let me check it out. I've always loved stuff like that, like The Omen. Did you watch The Omen?
Yeah. What do you think about like those types of movies, and they say like the cursed movies or whatever? Like all the stuff that happened around The Omen.
Oh, like the Poltergeist?
Yeah, like Poltergeist.
Yeah, where everybody died.
Yeah, within like 10 years of making the movie.
Yeah. And during the Poltergeist 3, the Carol Ann, the little girl that played Carol Ann, she died. The mom died.
Did she die during the movie? I thought she died.
Yeah, no, she wasn't able to finish the movie, I think.
What?
Poltergeist 3. Yeah.
Carol Ann?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
No.
Pretty sure she died during filming.
Is it the same girl from all the movies? Mm-hmm. Is it the same Carol Ann?
Yeah, but.
Because I know she finished the first one. Well, she was in the first one, right?
Yeah, she finished. Well, they finished all 3 of them. Part 1 was the one where they was in the house, and part 2 was the one with Preacher Cain. To this day, he's the scariest character I've ever seen. Yeah, whenever I think of Poltergeist, I think of him. Oh, I'm so scared. Like I didn't even realize it's always him, right? That's just the first one they showed. You know? I don't know. We gotta go back. He was in part 3 too. Was he? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, where they were at the Sears Tower. That's the one I remember. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty creepy too. All of them are pretty creepy. What was the second one about? Like, where were they? What? The second Poltergeist movie. That's the one where the Preacher Cain came up to the house and he was like, "I'm here to see Carol Ann." Was he still alive or something? The Preacher Cain? Yeah. No, he was a ghost. Did they realize he was a ghost? Like when he knocked on the door? No. God, that's so creepy. You remember that scene? He's like, "Let me in." You remember that? I might have been too young. Like, because Poltergeist 3 was what, 89? Poltergeist 3 was. I had the guy from Top Gun, Tom Skerritt. If you remember. Yeah, he was the dad. Yeah, I think he was like a uncle, and she was staying with him or something. Yeah, in the Sears Tower. Yeah. That's for sure. That's the one I remember. You know what made that one so scary was it was so claustrophobic because it's just like in that tour of that building. You know, like they never went outside. I don't think. I think she went down into the parking garage down in the basement, but I don't think they actually went out on the street or anything. It just all took place in that building.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the Poltergeist movies now. But they talk about that one, and then what Omen? Like a bunch of people got sick and like struck by lightning.
But you know what I read about the Preacher King?
What's up?
Even though it was so scary.
Oh come on, man! You see where you live? You see the road I gotta drive through to get home?
I hear what he goes.
Which one is this? Which one
This is part 2.
Okay. It's Preacher King walking through middle of the daytime, playing in the front yard.
Yeah, a rainstorm just randomly pops out. But what I was reading is that he was the guy that played him. Apparently, was the nicest guy.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah, like he would always be nice with the kids and everything. It was just like a real gentleman. He just walks right up like it's his house.
See, I don't think I've even seen this one.
Oh, it's.
You're getting soaked. Come on, sweetie.
Somebody acknowledges him. I think he looks scary in the third one.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
That is possible. I get around. I love getting around.
Plus, he got the southern accent.
Talking to me, even on a rainy day. Dog shed. Ah,
Hi. I saw you at the shopping mall.
sure you did. I remember your little lady. Allow me to introduce myself. Henry Payne.
Mom?
You know, I got to tell you, we've had enough of door-to-door salesmen.
Coach.
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
What I sell is free. Mind if I come in and talk to you about it?
I don't feel well.
You know, I got to maybe we just talk from here, all right?
Come inside, baby. I want to take you to the Come on.
This is a YouTube clip.
Yeah.
Glad to have this opportunity to talk with your family out of the way. Because I believe you have a problem here.
Yeah.
I believe there's an Indian living here with you.
Taylor.
But that's what he calls himself now. You are an angel.
What do you mean?
So was it an Indian burial ground?
No, I think what happened was they brought in Taylor. I can't remember how he got in contact with him, but he ends up taking Coach on a vision quest.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what ends up happening.
Is it Taylor goes?
No, he's like a shaman.
Okay.
He's like a shaman. But come to find out, the Preacher Cain apparently he led this cult, and he had him like in a cave, I think. So and he sealed the entrance and lit himself on fire and lit everybody else on fire and burned them alive.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and they showed that in the flashback in that movie.
And Poltergeist 2?
Yes, pretty sure it's Poltergeist 2.
And then they follow her. They follow the little girl.
Yeah, and then he's looking for her, I guess. But he's dead there. He's a ghost there.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Poltergeist 2 is really good. All three of them were good, actually. The remake was terrible. Did you see the remake?
No, they made a remake.
Yeah, they made a remake of Poltergeist.
About 2000-ish?
I think it was like 2017 or
Oh, really?
2016? 2015? Yeah, it was terrible.
I'm gonna go back and watch the originals. For sure, like I said, the only one I remember is the third one. And like I said, they're in that building. And I get that, and I get Adventures in Babysitting mixed up.
Yeah.
Which one is she? is she on the actual side of the building, the little girl, like hanging there? I know that happens in the Adventures of Babysitting, and they got Laura Road.
I think it. Now,
Does it happen in Poltergeist too?
Now you're putting false memories in my mind. 'Cause it sounds like something that I remember from that too, but I can't remember. I don't know where these little black bugs are coming from.
Are they bugs? I don't know what it
There's
is.
little black bugs. I think it's probably. We got a lot of bugs out here since we're out in the country.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of beetles out on the porch.
What you got? Do you have termites in the barn?
No, they're termites.
Okay.
They went out there and checked.
That's good.
What's the name?
Oh man.
Want some Coke and
No, we babysit this a little bit longer.
okay. Well, I'm gonna go grab something like that then.
Mm-hmm. So freaking so let's go through our checklist of like what needs to happen before we can call it a true apocalypse. I really think the Browns have to win a championship.
Okay.
What's the other like eternally sucky team, sports teams? The Bengals. But the Bengals won in like the 80s, didn't they?
Oh, back whenever they had Ickey Woods and Boomer Esiason, they were actually pretty decent, right?
Okay, so like the Browns have never won, and is it the Cubs that have won since like the 20s?
Well, the Cubs just won a couple years ago.
The Indians, the Cleveland Indians, pretty much Cleveland. So you got the Cleveland Indians, you got the Cleveland Browns. The Cavs won their championship finally. What else? We've had our black president. OJ's got to marry a black woman.
You what?
He has to marry a black woman.
Oh,
OJ.
I said he did.
No, it's on the list. What else we got? Trump has to like admit he was wrong about something.
Well, that'll be a long time.
Freaking like what's some of the things in Revelation you talk about that has to happen? Comets. What if like all these people getting sick from like COVID and stuff like that's part of the
It's one of the apocalypse, right?
yeah, like one of
plague.
the plague, yeah. Or even before that, like what
Plague, pestilence. And did you see where Ethiopia was being eaten alive by locusts?
I think that happens though. It's been happening.
Yeah, but
for a
apparently
while.
this was really bad this year.
Oh really?
Uh-huh.
Especially bad famine?
Yeah, especially bad.
And then I think Ethiopians like they consider themselves like one of the original tribes of Israel.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They say they got the Ark of the Covenant and everything. They say
The Ark of the Covenant?
The Ark of the Covenant. They say they have it and they know where it is. And yeah.
You know what? I've always been interested in stuff like that. Even back before the internet, I remember we were in class around 95, 90, no, it was like 94.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy and I went to the library and got this book on conspiracies. And I don't know if it's been debunked now, but it was cool back then. How apparently there was something called the Dagger of Destiny. What was it called?
The Spear of Destiny.
Spear of Destiny.
Yeah, with Hitler.
Yeah,
Hitler's for it.
Throughout the years, it's the one that the spear that they
pierced Jesus
aside with, right? And then through each great civilization that not preceded. What's the opposite of preceded? That came after that. Mm-hmm. Each great civilization that came after that apparently was in possession of it. Whenever it would get turned over, then like the next civilization would have it. And apparently, somehow Hitler came in possession of it, and then the United States took it from him. That's why the United States became the
world superpower.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that. I heard that Hitler was looking for it for sure. Like he was interested in all that occult artifacts. But the theory I always heard was like he knew they were good motivational tools. So like even like when he was just starting off with his SS stuff, like he implemented all these like Druid ceremonies just to like give them some sense of purpose and belonging. So I
bet that was some wild stuff because he gave them meth. He gave the SS Army they were on methamphetamine, I think, right?
Oh really?
Yeah, I read that they were.
Or coke? Was it meth or was it coke?
Either one. It'd be a wild time either.
Yeah, Just let them. We don't even need a gun.
Plus, aren't they doing weird stuff like UFO technology and stuff too, like developing UFOs?
Well, they had we know Operation Paperclip when we took all the German scientists after World War II because they were just miles ahead with rocket technology, and they knew like it was either going to be us or the Russians that were going to like sweep up these scientists. But like the problem is, there's like real Nazis in those groups of scientists, like real war criminals.
Yeah, I used to know the names of some of them.
Yeah, but and then there was a really good conspiracy thing going about
Hitler relocating to Argentina.
Well, which I don't think.
I don't. I think they disproved that one, but that's still something pretty cool to.
No, but the one I was going to bring up is like one of the royal family at the time, the queen at the time. No, she was a princess. The story they made up was she left her throne because she fell in love with no, I'm sorry, it was a prince. It was a prince. He left his throne because he fell in love with a woman and she had been divorced like twice before, and that was like deeply frowned upon. Like you couldn't be making her the queen. Like if you're a divorced woman, like you weren't even allowed to go to like a lot of the royal events.
Mm-hmm.
But the theory was the real reason he left the throne is because he had a lot of ties to the Nazi Party, and even like his kid, like cousins, like family members and stuff. And he invited like who was it? Who was Hitler's second in command? I want to say it was like Goebbels. Himmler. Yeah, the one that flew into England like right at the beginning of World War II and was trying to convince England like to just join the German party, and they ended up capturing him, and he was just there
Right.
for the rest of the war. Him, like he was going to see this prince at the time, and they kind of like they found out, and they kind of like made him give up his throne, like pretty much forced him out because he would have sympathized with the Germans.
That weird. You ever heard of that show called The Man in the High Castle?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard that it's really really good and thought provoking. It's like, what would have happened if they would have won? And isn't that kind of what it is? That show.
Yeah, that was my take on it too. I haven't seen it either, but yeah, I think that's the premise.
We should watch that together.
And then there's a really good documentary on Hulu about like what if the South had won the Civil War. We just celebrated Cinco de Mayo, and apparently, Napoleon at the time, that was like a battle they won against France. Because France was trying to come in and take over Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
If France had won, they were going to help the South against the North in the Civil War.
Mm.
Yeah, so had it not been, for Mexico defeating the French, the South might have won, with the support of France. So like the documentary is, what would have happened, and then it shows like all this modern day slavery and stuff. You would have had a United States pro-slavery joining up with the pro-German, Hitler, World War II, talking about, the white man is the supreme man and, that sort of thing. And it's wild. It's
I would like to watch that, actually.
It's really wild, yeah. And I mean, it goes all the way up to maybe like 2016 or something like that. Yeah. So it's like modern times.
And that would have probably affected our relationship with Canada too at that point. Well, Canada was
British. It's British still.
Yeah. I don't know how that would have worked. Did they mention that?
They show, because I think what they say is both the British and the French helped the South.
Oh, okay.
And that's why the North lost. Like they were just totally outnumbered. So they hung Lincoln and they hung Harriet Tubman like on the way out. Like they put Lincoln in blackface to try to smuggle him out, and they found him. It's wild. It's really good. Like I didn't expect it to be that good. It was silly, but it was good at the same. It was thought provoking at the same time.
I was listening to Ground Zero of Clyde Lewis this morning podcast, and he was talking about infinite possibilities and infinite. And then I know they said that if the universe is infinite, then it goes without saying that there's another Earth, another Earth where it's like me and you were sitting here having the same conversation, but maybe you're wearing like a blue shirt or something. Yeah, it's like little things like that. So I don't know. That's one of those things that may have happened in some other timeline.
Yeah, it's quite possible. But there's also a theory that that like Satan has been trying to infiltrate the Catholic Church, like the Vatican,
Mhm.
and if he can ever get like somebody that believes in Satan, basically there's like a lot of Satanists in the Vatican.
Did you see the background of the? Well, first of all, we saw the. I think you call it the church, but wherever the rectory is, where the Pope has mass. Have you saw that? It
Mhm.
looks like a snake. Did you see that? And then there's like this
Outside
weird,
or inside?
inside. Oh, okay. This goes. This is something you have to see if you haven't seen it.
So like there's a giant snake inside the
No, it just
Vatican.
looks like one. The Vatican snake room. That one.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did see that. And that's new. That's modern, isn't it?
Pretty
Like
new,
they
yeah.
just redid something. Yeah.
And then there's the. This is behind. That's like the setup they have behind the.
Behind that room.
Yeah.
I was like, was that like behind the Pope?
It's like a backdrop, yeah.
Yeah. So this is behind the snake room, and then there's like.
And I think it's like hell. I think it's supposed to be Jesus coming out of hell. I think that's what it is.
Some interesting iconography.
Yeah, it is. It is. Have you heard about the story of the last pope? You heard about that?
The one that just
How
quit.
no, like the prophecy of the last pope. How Pope there. I don't know. Pope Francis is supposedly the last pope.
Well, like what has he done to like?
There was a prophecy in.
Is it the little girls in the 20s? The Fatima, the prophecy of the Fatima.
The prophecy of the popes. It's a series of 112 short cryptic phrases in Latin, which purport to predict the Roman Catholic popes, along with a few anti-popes, beginning with Celeste II. It was first published in 1595 by Benedict monk Arnold Wyon, who attributed the prophecy to Saint Malachi. But either way, they've supposed to be 112 popes, and Pope Francis is supposedly the last one.
From what? Like total? There's supposed to be 112 like total popes ever?
I think so.
From that prophecy.
Either way, that it works out that he's supposed to be the last pope, and then it's like supposed to be the return of Jesus or the end of the world. And it's just weird how all these things seem to be lining up.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like I don't think it's a coincidence the way things are going like right now. Have you ever heard of the prophecy of the Fatima?
Maybe I have. Enlightened me.
It's like from the 20s, like the 1920s, and apparently like these three little girls in Russia. This happened in like broad daylight. They're like something's gonna happen today. Like some big sign is gonna happen today, and a lot of people like they got like a following. So like there were thousands of people in the middle of the daytime, and they went out and like the sun just started like bouncing around.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, in the sky. I don't know if they had video. Probably couldn't get it back
that.
in like good video back in that day, but you could see video and photography of the crowd, but it didn't show like the sun. I guess maybe you couldn't capture the sun with like the technology of the day. But like there are thousands of people like swear this is what they saw. And then like they gave like three prophecies. One of the prophecies like they sealed up and like and gave to the Pope. And like they sealed it up and like they won't reveal what it was. But apparently one of them was like Russia was supposed to consecrate itself to the Virgin Mary, and the Pope refused to do it or something like that, or he didn't release that information. And then there was another prophecy, which I forget, and the third one is filled up, and they won't release it.
Like what it says.
I know, right? I think you can look on like Wikipedia, and it says something about like what it was. Like they've kind of sort of released it since then. But I know it has something to do with Russia. You know, like they didn't, whatever they were supposed to do, they didn't do it for some stubborn reason.
I'm gonna look into it. That's gonna be my next topic that I'm gonna check out.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember the sun bouncing around, and I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
And I'll have to check out about the the quadrants or the quatrains. They wrote them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems like there's way too many things happening.
The murder bees.
The murder bees, the unprecedented locust invasion in Ethiopia, COVID.
Yeah. Which COVID by itself, like, wouldn't be like all of us in the world. Like, we've had plagues. It seems like we've had plagues like clockwork. Like, every 100 years, we've had a nice plague hit, And this, by all measurements, like, this isn't, quote unquote, that bad. It's terrible if you lost somebody, sure. But it hasn't, it's not the number, it's not the body count that the Black Plague had.
Yeah, my favorite conspiracy theory going is, of course, the 666 and the 060606.
That is
patents that are out there, and just how they're here. We need to track your movements. Apparently, if you go to a restaurant in Washington State and someplace in Kansas, apparently, for instance, a reopening, the same menu is like, hey, let's go to Outback, and we go to Outback and walk in, and we're like, okay, before we seat you guys, we need your driver's license. They take your name and address and what time you arrived and what time you leave. Now, so apparently
there's this social tracking or
yeah, the contact tracing. Yeah,
contact tracing. How you feel about that?
I don't think I like it.
Really?
I mean, I don't want to step on any toes or anything, but I mean, it's. I don't like it. Not in principle, I don't like it, but I just have a feel. I don't like that it's just feeding into the. It just seems like everything is being tracked these days. I mean, if you carry a smartphone around, you're going to.
Yeah, you're already volunteering.
You're already volunteering anyway. So, but if it's strictly being done in the name of keeping people safe, then yes. But if it's being abused, I don't like it. How about that?
Yeah, they won't give it up. Like we said though, they already have information. They know where you've been. So maybe in a small town where the towers aren't, as populated, or where there's not a tower everywhere. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about this week. Like, it isn't the people like going to the Capitol and stuff with guns, protesting. This is the first like controversy where I think both sides are right and both sides are wrong. Because you definitely, like the founding fathers, they definitely intended for the government to be afraid of the people. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be. Like the governor should be afraid of me and of us. You know what I mean? Like, just be responsible to us. But at the same time, going up there and yelling at people's faces and this is a fake virus and open back up or else.
Yeah. I think you see the guy that went in the subway with the freaking rocket launcher on his back?
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, it's strictly for intimidation purposes. It doesn't. I don't think that the government in any state, if somebody shows up with a gun, they're not going to be intimidated by that. You know what I mean?
Say it again.
I don't think they're going to be intimidated by that. Any lawmaker or governor who's already said, if they've established in their mind that they're doing it for the right reasons and they're doing it for noble reasons to keep the public safe,
yeah,
they'll just be like, well, bring a gun in here. I'm doing what I think is right.
Yeah,
So I don't. But the fact that you can walk into
a state
building, and like I saw those famous pictures where they were yelling in the Michigan troopers' faces.
Yeah,
like.
That's more scary than the gun. It's like,
Yeah. At what point, I understand freedom of speech and the government not being able to limit your speech, but at what point, if you're going into the Capitol building with an assault rifle and yelling at the police, I just don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I mean, like I said, I see both sides of it because.
Yeah,
like you should be able to go and yell at your lawmaker. You know what I mean? I would like for you to do it with a mask on during the pandemic. That'd be a nice courtesy.
Yeah.
Especially not yelling at some poor police officer who's just doing his job and likes to go home to his family and live. That'd be nice. But like I said, I honestly I see both sides. Like there's no wrong, there's no right answer.
Right. I think that
Tact would be nice, is what I'm saying.
yeah. So, some of the things though that I think bother people are sometimes what looks like arbitrary rules. They said, and like you can go to the beach, but you can't take a chair and sit down, or you can't take a blanket and lay down. You can't soak up the sun. You got to be constantly moving while you're there, even if you're by yourself.
Yeah. That does seem.
Just I think stuff like that bothers me. I understand why we've done everything we have, but if they're just small things like that can't be. It just seems arbitrary, right? Like the arbitrary rules that are set out where you're like, oh, you can go to the beach, but you can't you can't show up by yourself and take your shirt off and lay down and catch some sun. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Are we open or not?
Yeah,
pretty much.
I mean, how is that going to keep somebody from transmitting or catching the coronavirus? I guess what they don't want is just large groups of people showing up and congregating. I guess, but I think you should be able to handle that you should be able to give the police some discretion to enforce that. Be like, okay, if there's a group that's starting to congregate, maybe we should go ahead and
kind of
disperse them. Yeah, but just to say, oh, here goes one guy over here, and he's got a beach blanket.
Yeah.
Beach towel, we got to get rid of him. No.
Which the weird thing about that is, like, you can go, but like they're not opening the parking lots. So like, so how are you gonna even,
Well, did you see the one where the people would go watch the sunset in their car and they were getting like $1,000 citations?
While they're sitting there, like
they weren't even getting out of the car. They were just pulling up and like at an overlook or something, and the police were coming up and issuing $1,000 tickets.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how much money the states have lost. Just people staying in, not selling, no speeding tickets on people's way to work every day, and you know what I mean?
I don't know, but they said what you can look at in Michigan, for instance, where you can't. I think paint and furniture and some other things aren't considered essential items, but the weed stores are open and liquor stores are open. They're like, well, it's because, but you can't buy seeds to plant vegetables.
You can't buy seeds?
I think that's what I read. But either way, they said that and you can buy lottery tickets, but they said that the state gets a majority of the money from the lottery tickets and
the weed.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons that people think that. I don't know for a fact that's why they're done, but that's why people said that.
Well, I'll tell you why the alcohol, like the liquor stores are open, because you can't have people detoxing during the pandemic. There's no hospital beds for them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely believe that's why. Alcohol is like the worst thing. I think it's worse than heroin. You quit to kick. Like you can really die from detox from alcohol more so than anything else.
Yeah, and that's what's so funny about it. Just how there's been such a stigma and criminality to marijuana over the years. Whenever alcohol is far more deadly and completely wrecking more lives and families than marijuana could ever even hope to.
Oh yeah, cigarettes and alcohol. Like I don't know which one has a bigger body count, but like definitely those two. Like it's not even close. Mm-hmm. Cigarettes, alcohol, and then way down in third is probably crack. Or heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like far behind. Like you thought the race was over, and then
painkillers like the Lortabs and oxycodone and stuff like that. They probably.
Well, that's heroin. That's just another form.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's heroin. If we gotta throw those in, we throw those in together, and it'd still be third. Still be a distant third place.
That's kind of weird. You can see so many commercials for beer and hard liquor.
But they did. I mean, they did have a prohibition on alcohol for a while. And America was like, F all of that. And we definitely are going for that. But
yeah, it just goes back to select. Well, from what I've read, It's like the selective laws for selective people.
Yeah.
The war on drugs is predominantly, well, overwhelmingly arrested minorities and incarcerated minorities.
Yeah.
Mass incarceration. So,
I mean, just look at the penalties for crack versus cocaine. You know.
and wasn't Nixon that the war on drugs kicked into full steam with Nixon, and it was
in Hoover, so they could go after the Black Panthers.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's an excuse for that. But I think, now that I think about it, we had prohibition. We had Spanish flu, 1919, 1920. Prohibition. Got rid of prohibition and had the roaring 20s. I think we're going to see like weed legalized across the nation. It's going to be like the roaring 20s, 2020s.
what's so weird about it is, from I looked it up, and from I think Louisville I looked up because it's right on 65, or Northern Kentucky. You can be to Michigan in 3 hours. Like you can be to the limits of Michigan in 3 hours from Kentucky. And I'm pretty sure the weed's legal in Illinois now, right? It is, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
But either way, if that's the case, then I mean, you can Illinois borders Kentucky, so you can just drive across the border and you completely be legal as far as buying a joint and smoking it. But then if you drive across the river and come back, then it's suddenly illegal again.
Yeah, well, shoot, I mean, you go across the river and gamble, get on a boat.
That's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah.
And you know what else? You been to the Red Mile?
Yeah.
And they have the slot machines there.
They do or they don't?
They do.
Yeah, now they do. I think they just.
But they say, oh well, it can't be based off a random number generator. It has to be based off of horse race results or some.
What?
Yeah, it's if you look at it, it's not. It's the numbers. Like you go to Hollywood or Belterra or any other casino, the slot machines are set up like off of random number generators, like everything's random. But somehow the randomness up there is based off of previous horse race results. Don't ask me how it works, I don't know. But that's the loophole as to why they're able to have slot machines.
And they like said that with a straight face? Like,
yeah, 100%. That's why there's a big disclaimer. It's like, this is the results are based off of the randomness of previous horse races.
So probably like the numbers that can't come up. Are they numbers? Or are they still like bar?
Oh yeah, they're like bar, but like those numbers somehow are connected to previous horse race results, and that's how they get around it because it's related to horse racing.
Wow, I'm speechless.
Yeah,
I'm without speech.
That's how they're able to have it in Kentucky.
Yeah, I love Kentucky. The inconsistency that is Kentucky.
Jack's a pretty nice casino. We've been up there, Cincinnati.
Is it the
one right in Cincinnati? Like right, you can see downtown from it.
Okay, yeah, I'm driven past it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in Red Mouse since they put in the slots and stuff.
Oh, it's a full-on casino.
They don't have like 21.
Well, they don't have blackjack tables or anything. They do have thousands of slot machines, video slots.
Huh. Can you gamble on like football and stuff since you gambling on horses there?
No, see, that's another thing. I don't know why, but you can't. You can't bet on you can play the lottery, you can play Keno, and other things, but you can't bet on an NFL game. Which you would think, given the popularity of UK basketball and college basketball here, that would be something they would look at.
How long before they start throwing games here in Rupp Arena, if they start doing it? Which I mean, they're already. I'm pretty sure they're already doing that.
You think so?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Shaving points. Maybe not throwing games. Shaving points, for sure, still going on.
Really?
If not that, I know for a fact that they're giving kickbacks to kids just for coming or just for playing or just.
Oh well, yeah.
It's
going to happen at any big school.
Yeah, but I know.
But apparently they're going to let student athletes become paid now, aren't they?
That's the move. That's the push.
Yeah.
Or be able to make money off your likeness.
Yeah,
So
get
like
endorsements and stuff. Like
Mhm.
if they sell a jersey.
they sell a jersey, or like come down to Winston Pittman Cardinal Dodge and get autographs from Anthony Davis. From 5 to 7. And Anthony
They don't
Davis.
do that much anymore. And I would like to go get some.
What's
But like autograph signings.
Yeah.
But obviously not because of the corona they're not doing it. But it just seems like I'll never hear about them, and then I always hear about them, and it's too late.
Yeah. But I think at UK, like where they worship basketball players, like they definitely.
Oh yeah, the big stars like if especially if they was to come back, like Anthony Davis, he could probably come back and charge $150 an autograph.
Well, yeah, but once you're gone, you don't need. But the college students. What happened to Rex Chapman? Remember he got into some trouble. You're a UK fan, right? You UK basketball.
Oh, Rex Chapman, yeah, he got busted for shoplifting, right?
He was like stealing TVs or something crazy like that, something weird.
Yeah, Arizona, I think.
And am I not crazy? Was he like a state representative or something at some point? Or am I just?
I don't know where all these little buzzers
wow.
come from.
Yeah, I would smash those. Those look like gnats.
Yeah, I think they're attracted to the line. I don't know how they're getting in.
Yeah. Oh crap. Yeah.
I'm gonna start killing them.
All right, it might be time. I can tell by the bugs on the table and by the chime of midnight. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Fine.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
You tired? You want to keep going?
I keep going.
You keep going? Okay. I see you got a tall glass over there. All right, we get something to drink then. What are you doing?
Okay.
Maybe get a glass of water. Excuse me. Feet don't fail me now. Feet don't fail me now.
What was that? The prophecy of what?
The Fatima. Fatima. I've never met a skinny girl named Fatima.
I don't know if I've ever met anybody named Fatima.
Oh, it's a pretty popular Spanish name.
Church actually, the Catholic Church actually recognizes it, huh?
Yeah, it's official. It's official, like miracle. Whatever. I don't think they got like sainted or anything, but that's what I'm fascinated by the Catholic Church, like all the secret rooms and secret.
Oh yeah,
writings and
yeah. I was researching about how much money the Catholic Church has, and nobody can even venture a guess. They think it's in the
for sure the billions.
Trillions. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was thinking about it today, like nonviolence.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus' whole philosophy on nonviolence, and people think, there's no way to win a war, or there's no way, like you can't accomplish, your means by that way, by dying for them.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think Jesus was executed by the Romans, and today we got the Roman Catholic Church. So I think he got his message across. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. No, they're talking about apparently Pope John Paul II released the third secret, but apparently there's some controversy, and they're saying that he didn't give them full information.
He held back
information. Yeah. It said in 1960, the Vatican issued a press release stating that it was most probable the secret would remain forever under absolute seal. So the people actually know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
like once you get to a certain level, you can like hire bishops and cardinals.
So that's just crazy to me, dude. Like, that sounds like some kind of weird conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay, well that's. But apparently the Catholic Church officially recognizes it, right?
No, it's like a real thing. It's really, if you got faith, like it's a officially recognized thing. So I always think about like at what level do you get to know those secrets? Like the president. You think the president called the Pope and was like, "Hey, can we just have a sit down about this Fatima thing? We need to know."
I don't know. I bet even then they would.
Not the president. Like
I bet they wouldn't.
Whoever's like really in charge, maybe they'll let them know.
Maybe. The Bilderberg.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Does that still happen?
The lizard people. The Bilderberg group.
Yeah,
Oh
build
yeah,
everything.
heck yeah. Well, I don't know, like now because of COVID-19 stuff, or maybe everything's going according to plan.
Maybe.
You know,
It may be.
they've been saying for years we're overpopulated.
Mhm.
Solutions must be made.
Is it Agenda 21? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I hope I was joking.
Oh.
Or, love you, Bilderberg Group.
Yeah, it says here that official or critics such as Italian journalist and media personality Antonio Socchi claimed that the 4-page handwritten text of the third secret released by the Vatican in 2000 is not the real secret, or at least not the full secret. The argument is based on the following, and then explain why. Several paragraphs. Satanic infiltration of the church.
Yeah, it's like one of the prophecies that if something weird, like if Satan can ever get to this throne, or like one of his followers can ever sit on this throne, like to be able to have like let's say this come another Antichrist or something like that, or you be able to take over the church. Something weird, but there's like legitimate reason to believe like that it has been infiltrated by like Satan, the Catholic Church, like at a high level.
I can't think of any other. What were they talking about? Any other company or any other
Government or
and only they were just talking about like any other entity. If there was as much sexual abuse as there is with the
organized sexual abuse.
organized, yeah, like they would be shut down immediately.
Yeah.
But like they're just like, yeah, what are y'all gonna do about it?
I mean, they're paid for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And that's a weird. It's. I mean, because they're a government. They have an army.
Oh yeah, they're a sovereign.
They're a sovereign nation. Yeah, they really are. Yeah, they're their own sovereign nation. So and they believe, in amnesty and forgiveness and all this stuff. So it kind of puts them in a weird position. But yeah, somebody definitely should step in. It's like, okay, you can keep your status, but you're not going to be around children anymore. At the minimum, even if they didn't believe in like, okay, you got to go to jail or whatever, we're not going to turn you in. We're going to make sure you don't reoffend and not move you away. And
yeah,
like I don't know what they thought that would accomplish.
there's a website that I was looking at that lists all of the. You can check by state and by diocese of the number of, and they're not just like I heard this happen. They provide links to official news articles where they've been convicted, and it's just mind blowing how many there are.
In Kentucky?
That's right.
Did like Lexington or Louisville or?
Yeah, it has them by the diocese, and I think there's like Lexington, Covington, and Louisville.
I told you about was it Malachi Martin? Get the microphone. Sorry, Malachi Martin. He was like one of the he's like one of the self-proclaimed leaders in the exorcism. Which there's been some stuff people have kind of come out afterwards to kind of discredit him, his story. But he's like he claimed to have done more exorcisms than anybody in history, and he said like Louisville was like one of the most demonic cities in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean the proof's in the pudding right now.
Did I forward you that story? You may have already known it. I can't remember if I forwarded it to you or not about the. I think it was Shively. About this black family that moved into a white neighborhood, and they apparently somehow there's some kind of rule against it, but
like it's still on the books. Like
no, this happened back in the 60s, I think.
Oh, okay.
But somehow they got this. There's a white realtor. They got her to buy the house for him or something, and then they moved in, and people was like, "What the hell?" So they put like propane bombs and stuff outside of their house and blew it up and everything.
That does sound familiar. It sounds really familiar. I don't remember the blowing up the house part, but I do know like it was an official stance. Like Louisville is one of the most segregated cities in the world, like by design. Like there was a definite blacks not allowed to move past this area we won't give them loans past this area.
That's what it was. They wouldn't give them a loan there.
Like the red line.
I think it was Shively.
Yeah.
Some neighborhood in Shively, I think.
And that's why. Like, that's why there's the problems that they have today. Like, you know, it's just a neglected people in a neglected part of town. You know, undereducated, whatever, no opportunities. And then this is why we got the mess we got today.
See, look, here's the diocese of Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
This is just Lexington. All of these.
Are those so like it's one priest and then it's the list of victims?
So here's this one.
Alleged victims.
Mm-hmm. Here's the source, and here's the sources they give, like the Lexington Herald Leader, the Cincinnati Enquirer. They don't just like they actually
cite the source.
So they cite their sources, multiple times over. So they had 7 from Lexington diocese in Lexington. There's Covington. There were 20 in that one.
And there's like how many would you say, about 20? Are those names to the right of alleged victims?
Let's see. So there's
it's priest name, date of birth,
first when they were ordained.
Ordained.
P stands for.
Where is it at?
There, P. P. I don't know what that means. Oh, and then see, that one was sued. That one was accused. It gives a brief rundown of synopsis and then sources.
Okay, those are sources to the right. Can I see that?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is the priest. Last name, first name, ordained date. Priest. I think it's a type. So like they're all priests.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay, yeah. So probably like D for deacon or P for priest or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. Sued, diocesan. Okay. Diocesan 1990, the Feders had abused him 3 times a year. He was 14-year-old, 8th grader at Altaborn in Lexington. Accusers suggested to settle for $200,000 in 94, but diocese offered only to pay for counseling in 95. Man rejected counseling offer, then filed civil suit. Wow, so the priest was like, okay, yeah, you should be paid. Wow. So he had a golden rate.
Yeah, he has like a matrix, and he's like, well,
so you were diddled, but you're 90. Yeah, there's some depreciation there.
This was post Vatican II, so but it's
wow.
Yeah, but here's the Louisville. Let's see how many. The Archdiocese of Louisville. 83. 83 of them.
Oh, wow. That's
83.
Nice size city. And look, Lexington is only now really.
Well, it's not just the city. It covers the surrounding
whole their diocese.
Like all the way down to southern Kentucky is the Lexington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I just don't know.
Wow. Somebody you knew were possessed, you still call a Catholic priest?
Yeah.
Or no? No? Who you calling at that point?
Ghostbusters?
To reach. They could relative is pretty effed at that point when they get hit by a proton pack. I don't know if that's the right tool for the right job.
Something will happen.
Yeah, they'll have some kind of reaction.
Yeah, have you ever actually sat down and watched Exorcist from beginning to end?
No, never. I don't think I will.
Pretty scary.
Yeah,
it's life changing. It's one of those that it stays with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw it whenever a long time ago, and then a few years back, I took my brother and Erica to the Kentucky Theater in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
And because during Halloween, they used to show like old horror movies on the big screen, which was awesome. I don't know why they don't do it now. But they had The Exorcist, so we went. And it's even scarier just to watch it on the big screen.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, surround and.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, no matter how many times you see it, it's still scary.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Just so. Plus, I met the chick that played Linda Blair.
Linda Blair? You got Linda Blair?
Linda Blair, yeah. At a convention. I have a picture somewhere.
It's probably hard for her to get work after that. She can do a lot of roles.
She's in a few things. Nothing big though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she in Repossessed?
Yeah, with Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Repossessed.
I love that. Like even that I thought was scary.
Yeah.
Like I thought Repossessed was scary. The comedy about the movie. There's no way I could sit through.
Yeah. And what about that opening scene of was it Scary Movie 3? Where it had James Woods playing do you remember it was like it was like a possessed girl and it was James Wood who's playing one of the priests and then I think it was like Andy Richter playing the other priest.
Yeah. But then the girl's like a freak or something like
that. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get down with that.
I don't know. I'm just.
Do you think that's real? You think people really get possessed?
I don't know why they wouldn't. Because I mean, Jesus talked about it. Like remember in the New Testament, wasn't a guy possessed and Jesus went and cast out the demon into a pig and it ran over the hill and
yeah, so like a group of pigs.
Threw itself off of a. So I mean, I think so. But then you got to consider, how much of that's actually mental illness that was manifest in that form. But I don't know. I mean, if you're either in or you're out. I mean, you got to either believe that or not. And I think I do believe it.
Well, to go back to the Malachi Martin guy, he said that out of 100 people in in a psych ward, he would say maybe 80 of them like legitimately should be there, and like the other 20% are like possessed.
Really?
Yeah, like the mental illness is like takes the form or presents itself as a mental illness, like the schizophrenia, which I can see that.
I can see that too.
It would seem like if you were possessed, I bet it would seem like schizophrenia.
I think there are definitely evil spirits and things like that. Though.
Oh yeah, I bet that and it's not as dramatic as like a movie. Like I bet there are people possessed, and they're just like it's very subtle, changes. You know what I mean? And he talked about like perfect possession, which is like the person like welcomed it and is like perfectly okay with it, and there's there's really nothing you can do.
Kind of like somebody that sells their soul or something.
Yeah, kind of sells their soul, and he talks about like the old families, like families that came over with the original United States. They're like really, on the ground floor building the country. Like I guess going back to like that Mason.
Yeah, the Freemasons and stuff.
Yeah,
that is some really weird business, man.
What's that?
The Freemasons.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you go, like once you go so high, I mean, they pretty much tell you they worship Lucifer.
Yeah, I'm saying that's.
But they don't tell you that, like coming in.
Yeah.
I
know. I think I know of a few people that are Masons, and they just stay in the lower levels and just kind of use it as almost like a grown-up fraternity thing.
Yeah, like a networking. Yeah. But even still, I wouldn't. Once I heard the Lucifer part, I mean, there's no halfway with that.
No, I mean, why would you open yourself up for anything like like even if there's the remote possibility that it exists, it's just like one of those things where it's like you're not supposed to do this, so I want to do it.
Yeah,
that deal, just to see if it happens, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't believe in it, you got nothing to lose,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so it's like today I was like, oh, whatever. So we're playing Lucifer now. Okay, whatever. What's up?
Lucifer.
Yeah.
What was that? The guy was talking about something on the show the other day. Something to do with COVID, I think, about COVID testing or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the reagent they used to look at it was Luciferian or something like that.
Which sulfur?
No, but it was Lucifer or something, but because Lucifer means light.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But either way, it was named Lucifer or something. Luciferian or something.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I have to find that. But
sometimes I think he just rants.
Oh no, he's real. He's real.
That's really what it's called, like a chemical. I don't think there's a chemical called Luciferian.
Hold on, let me look it up.
When you're married to a chemist, look her up.
Yeah, right there. Luciferin. Luciferin is a generic term for the light-emitting compound found in organisms that generate bioluminescence. It's like a firefly. They have
Oh, okay.
luciferin.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like Lucifer was the
Light bearer.
light bearer. Yeah, so luciferin.
That's interesting.
Ain't that weird? How everything is connected like that.
Or are we making connections that aren't there? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's also a possibility. You have to acknowledge that. You know, we could be seeing connecting dots that aren't supposed to be connected. Like, is it causation or is it correlation? You know what I mean? Like, if there's a bunch of cancer around power lines, is it's because most people live around power lines, or are the power lines causing cancer?
Yeah, correlation does not always mean causation.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I think that. What do you think is the reason that everybody's so big on?
that was totally.
Yeah, I don't even.
You're not even gonna acknowledge that.
Not going to acknowledge that.
You're gonna walk with my car. I know that.
I just wonder what's causing everybody to become so conspiracy minded and so mistrustful of everything now.
I don't think more people are conspiracy minded. I think more people have access to other people that are conspiracy
I think
minded
that's what it is.
because of the internet and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I don't think more people are into foot fetishes, but now they have support groups for it. You know what I mean? So, like, oh, I'm not the only one. Not that I'm into feet. I hate feet. Just throwing that out
Just seen
there.
King of the Hill where Peggy, she's got abnormally large feet. They're like supposedly like the length of that.
Yeah,
bottle.
she's like size 13 feet.
Yeah. And one day she went in to buy shoes and she got embarrassed, and then this guy was like, "I love your feet."
Yeah, I remember it was like a big deal.
He hires her to come in and.
Was she like stepping on stuff?
Yeah, she was like stepping on meat and like hamburger, and they were pouring honey and stuff on her feet, taking pictures. And apparently, he was making money off of her.
Different strokes. Different folks.
King of the Hill is a tremendous show.
It was ahead of its time.
Oh, it's way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time. Like it's really good. So why's that plant ball?
I bet we left the door open or something. That's probably why these bugs. I bet we left the window or door open. You want to go investigate?
Rather not. But I don't know.
He said you'd rather not. I think the air just kicked on too. The air just kicked on. It feels cooler.
Yeah, but I don't know why that would be blowing because there's not a vent over there.
The fan's going right there.
Oh, that's what it is. Good. But I don't know where the bugs are coming from.
I bet we had to leave the window open or something. Because it is a dang. Oh, yeah. Did we shut this door? Is this door open? I'll check. I'll check this one because we're in ear sight. I'm not gonna disappear into anything. This door shut. Yeah, there's a creepy amount of bugs in here.
Are they in there too?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with these guys. But you know what is really scary? That end of the house down there.
Like, I never use it.
Yeah,
never go in there.
Like whenever if I have to go down and get something during the night, it's like one of those things where you run to keep the demons from catching you.
I've seen those. Have you seen those like short videos people are doing now?
No.
Like they'll turn off the lights in that room, and then they'll like run to the bed, and then like somebody will appear and like slowly follow them.
Oh,
with like a hood on.
No.
And then they get in the room and like shut the door, and the guy just turns around and walks away. He's like, "Oh, he made it." What it is, it's pretty much like it sounds ridiculous, but that's pretty much like what our imagination is like.
Oh yeah,
something's right behind me. Let me run.
Well, whenever our niece was staying with us, she was down there in that room at the far end. She was scared to death to be down there by herself. And I can't say I don't blame her.
Yeah, was she sleep right here most of the night?
No, that's our room, and she was
way. No, but like, did she sleep like most of the night? She just chose to sleep on the couch.
No, it wouldn't let her. And then one time, I think she brought Fabby over. Like Fabby drove her over to drop her off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they knew I was here, and I was in the bedroom doing something. and they were down there making each other scared, and they were like, making each other jump and stuff.
Did you jump out?
I was getting ready to.
They would probably one of them would have had a heart attack.
They probably would have.
Okay, yeah, I did hear that for sure.
Well, those are bugs.
Are
Those
they?
these big beetles that are trying to get in.
Yeah, something's like loose, like not sealed.
Yeah, see how they're up here on the window trying to get in? It's because it's warm now.
That's freaky.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch a couple of them. And we have the Orkin guy come out every so often and just spray around for ants because we're out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bugs, so I'm gonna keep a couple of those and show them.
You can buy those.
Well, I bought like traps and stuff that kill things, but they don't.
Well, like that pesticide spray. You know what I'm talking about? It's like in the white bottle.
Oh
And
yeah,
you like pump and spray around the house, the foundation or whatever.
yeah, but I prefer them to come out and do it.
Oh,
'Cause
sure, yeah.
They're the stuff they use. Like we put down stuff and it wouldn't. They'd eat it as a snack.
Like laugh at it.
Yeah,
Purr.
and they but this stuff actually kills them, whatever they put. So I'm gonna call them and get them to come back out. I'm really concerned about that third secret now. You think it has something to do with UFOs? Aliens? Alien life, maybe? Or like another dimension or something like that?
Quite possible.
Because right now, I mean, what's weird, Thomas, is right now we've experienced disclosure. Do you understand?
Well, they still haven't been like you said last week. They haven't said, okay, yes, they're aliens.
Well, they're saying that it's not of human origin.
Yeah, it's like we don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're saying it's nothing that they're saying that it's nothing that we've created.
Yeah.
So I mean, what else is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it's like I said, some kind of interdimensional thing, which it may be. But I would love to sit down and talk to that pilot one on one.
You gave a pretty good interview.
Oh, the Joe Rogan. That was the best Joe Rogan episode I've ever heard.
Oh, really? You like that?
I loved it. Mm-hmm. Well, the one with the Manson murders, that's pretty good too, though. The guy that covered the Manson murders.
Yeah, so you really into the what is it, what's that project called?
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really into that. I don't know. I don't know. I just wonder sometimes, like if the iPhone is not the iPhone itself, but like some of the apps that are
Smartphones.
Yeah, just I don't know, because you can see like the just on the surface level. If you go to your PC or your computer and look at your Facebook page, you can go through and it'll explain. It'll be like, you looked at this ad for this long. You looked at.
Oh, really?
Interacted with this. Like we can look through your history. You can see everything you've interacted with, and it'll tell how long you spent looking at an ad, if you liked it or not, if you moved on. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they keep track of everything, every single thing you do.
I didn't know they disclosed it like that to you though. Like you can see what you did.
Yeah, you can see it'll be like you viewed this ad and interacted with it for this long.
Yeah, you gotta show me how. So do you need the app? You need the Facebook app?
I think you have to do it on your PC.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, I haven't used Facebook, and I keep the messengers because there's a few people I talk to on it. But I don't.
Like you don't log in the Facebook.
I don't look at the Facebook wall. I logged in a while ago just to have a new friend request so I could add them and never talk to them. But as far as I keep the messenger, which there was something also, like there was this website called, I think it's joebiden.info.
Yeah.
This is something that really it kind of actually bothered me. Somebody posted that if it was like whenever you go to it, it's like an anti-Joe Biden website. Was talking about his sex allegations and stuff, and shows him sniffing kids.
Wasn't that his kids?
No, there's a video like where they made a compilation. It's pretty creepy, man. If you haven't seen it, I have to find it and show it to you. But you can go to if you say Thomas would like to see this, and I would type the website and try to send it to you.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't send. It legit wouldn't send. It was like we're not able to send.
Like what did it do? Like when you try to send it to me? Like if you try to send it to me?
Let me try to do it right quick.
Okay. I know like there's some like Facebook is like there's that CIA informant. And like if you try to put his name on Facebook, it won't let you. Or YouTube. Like if we said his name right here right now, they probably take down this cast like it wouldn't be saved.
Well, here, that mean right here, this is from an article where they said Facebook admits to monitoring Messenger conversations. So let me try to.
Now I understand like if they monitor like what I put on my page or something.
That's what I'm saying. But why would they?
Like message to message.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, there's definitely an invasion of privacy.
Let me make sure I get the website. Okay, see, yeah, if this will load.
Okay.
This is the website.
Touchy Uncle Joe.
Yeah. Oh, there's the video.
Should play a little bit of that. All right. Not that creepy.
No.
This is him as like stroking the little girl's hair. When do you think? So you already got.
He keeps going in for more. It's like a fish eating food. But anyway, here. Okay, so that's there's more. There's a lot more.
Yeah, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt right there.
Okay, well, I've got to send you. Okay, so look, that's a legitimate website, right?
Okay.
And I tried to send it to one of my buddies, and I'll try to send it to you, just to make sure that it.
So who's the guy that just got not Harvey Weinstein? Who's the guy with the island? And he just got killed in prison. Or Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
This thing.
Yeah, he quote unquote committed suicide in prison. First of all, that's got to be.
See, whenever I try to send it to you, it gives this message.
What's it say?
Just a little red eye. It's a sign that it cannot send. Even though it's a legitimate website that we just went to.
Huh? Did you type that in?
Mm-hmm.
Like were you trying to send it to me? Like you typed in Joe Biden.info?
Yeah, and I just sent it to you and it wasn't sent.
What is that? Is that Apple? Is that Apple phone? Or is that Samsung?
That don't matter. It's Facebook Messenger. Try to send it to me in yours.
Oh, it's through Messenger. Won't let
yeah, it's through Facebook Messenger.
Man, I think Facebook did a thing. It's like if they won't let, like you can't post anything, quote unquote, that's fake news. Like especially like anything.
But it's obviously satire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, always.
But then it's a private message.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I could send you a link to whatever I wanted to supposedly, and it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, that is different when it's a message.
Oh yeah, I'd agree. Like if it's something you're putting on your wall that for the public to see, and they could say that you're
spreading fake news.
Yeah,
or
I can
false
see that.
news.
But if it's just two friends want to share information or share a joke or something,
but they did message to the rest of them.
I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're not. I don't see it. Usually can see.
Are they coming through the ceiling?
Usually, like they're little black ones. You should be able to see them against the white ceiling, but I don't know.
Like disappeared when we talk about them. But yeah, it's like gnats. They look like little gnats coming through.
Yeah, but they're crunchy.
Do you? Yeah. So Epstein. So apparently, like every politician, like without exception, has been to his island.
What do you think of this?
So Clinton flew with him like 19 times.
Yeah, he went to the island like 20 times, right?
I don't know if he went to the island, but he flew with them, like on his private jet or whatever. Obama flew with him, and there was like weird, like I'm a big Obama fan. It was like really disappointing. Like I hope.
What do you think about that?
Is it Epstein and Trump
Uh-huh.
back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
And that surprised me. That's the thing, like Clinton.
I mean, like,
Who's that? Is that Epstein and Bush?
no, it's Epstein and Trump every time.
Okay, Epstein and Trump. Yeah.
There's him and
Look up. I wonder if there's an Epstein and Bush. Cause Bush is like somebody like I didn't agree with his politics, but I think he's an upstanding family person.
No, there's Nothing.
Okay.
But
Both
what's weird
bushes,
is,
by the way.
did you see that painting of Bill Clinton dressed up as a woman that Epstein had? That was hung up in Epstein's house.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Like I thought they took that down. Like you can't find it anymore.
There it is. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. What about and then Epstein and Obama? There's like a transcript of like Obama, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have that pizza for like 45 minutes."
Yeah, no, man. The Pizzagate, the
Yeah.
whole thing. Apparently, people are getting killed over that.
Well,
You know, like,
well, here's the thing.
so I don't.
Here's the
We'll talk
thing.
about that later.
No, wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Here's the thing now. Okay, so yeah, they made it look like anybody who believed in like Pizzagate was a wacko, like some guy showing up to a pizza shop.
Mhm.
But the original story on that was it was like a real investigative reporter did like years of research into this, and apparently pizza is an alias for like a euphemism for child molestation.
Mhm.
So like when they go into a chat board, they'll be like
Pizza with whatever, and then it just like whenever the different toppings are the different things they would
I guess maybe
like to have. I guess.
I don't that or like describing like I don't know anchovies would be I don't know whatever.
Yeah,
type of-
yeah. Just like there's code words for different things.
Yeah, exactly. So they'd be like, yeah, we're gonna have a pepperoni pizza for an hour and a half if you can afford it, or something like that. Which was like one of the flags, like who has pizza for amount of time. You know what I mean? That's not how you buy pizza or reserve pizza for time.
Well, and I mean it's one of those things that's I think it should be obvious to everybody what's happening,
Right.
but for whatever reason, and whenever Epstein killed himself,
Quote unquote. Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
killed himself.
That's one of these things where it's just like so out there in the open,
Yeah.
and nobody really. It's for crying out loud. We got like some got UFOs at the Pentagon, and the government has said, yeah, they're not a man-made origin. We don't know what they are, and then we have this. People just don't care about things.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's exactly right. What can you do?
Yeah. But what do you think is like? Which one is the smoke screen and which one is the story?
Well, if I had to think, I would think that the UFO thing is the smokescreen.
Right, because they've had it for so long,
Yeah.
and now they're choosing to be like, "Here you go."
Mhm.
Yeah, and I guess it's for that because there's so many like high up people on Epstein's list.
I know.
Like so many.
What was he? Was he like a hedge fund manager or something? Like, why was he so influential?
That's the thing. Like nobody can get to the bottom of it. Like,
Yeah.
was he somebody's like another government? Maybe like was he like their um, way to get like leverage on people? You know what I mean? Like he come and then you get all these people, influential people with these underage girls, and then
Yeah.
okay, now I got this on you, so you better look out for my interest now.
And then just supposed to kill himself.
Yeah. And like if you saw his cellmate was like an ex cop, big burly, like convicted killer, something like that on death row or like real long prison sentence.
I remember the day that I woke up and read that happened.
Yeah.
I remember I was just like, this is the most unbelievable thing that I've ever read in my life, and people are going to get away with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the end of it. And then a couple of days later, it's like they've decided they're not going to investigate any further because he's dead.
I see that. I never heard there was an official close. Like, okay, it's over.
Oh yeah, they whoever was in charge of the investigations was like, yeah, we're done. I don't know.
And the cameras were off, and
The guards weren't were asleep or away from the post or whatever.
I heard they're gonna arrest the guards. Like the guards going down for that. I'm sure that's the ultimate patsies. I'm sure their supervisors came like, all right, go take a break.
Yeah, I don't know. I just there's too many things that would have had to lined up for it to have actually happened.
Yeah, the cameras happened to go off.
Yeah, and that those guys weren't on their posts. And he had just been released from suicide watch.
Yeah.
Because he'd already tried it once.
Yeah. Even, there's no way he should have been able to commit suicide.
I don't think so. Is there a Joe Rogan episode where they talk about that?
Oh yeah, he talks about it constantly.
What is he thinks that it's
Oh, it's the biggest like open conspiracy theory. Like like it's the most blatant thing in history. Like they might as well just come out and say, yeah, we had to kill him. It's for your own good. You know what I mean?
then who? Or I guess that opens the question then, like who killed him without like I don't think the Clintons did or whatever. Like, but I mean, like, you think that it was like an organization that got together and was like, we need to kill this guy because he's getting ready to rat us out.
I think there was a lot of organizations, and it's like who could just do it first. You know what I mean? Like it was so many. He was in bed with so many people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and how does somebody get that with that many influential people? Didn't even Bill Gates go to his?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
And I could see doing it like once or twice. Like you don't know really what's going on. You just know this is like a happening person. Influential person. Like, okay, this is a good person. No, I'm gonna go check him out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can easily see you get sucked into that. And maybe like the first time you go, it's just you guys just hang out. So you go back again, and then that's when he pulls like, oh yeah, I got some girls lined up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these girls are pretty young. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. That's fine. Just come on over.
Yeah, we're just hanging.
Look, everybody else is doing it.
Yeah. But
But
like Clinton, fine with him, like, and I love Clinton. Love like as a president. Love Clinton. Love his policies.
did we talk about how some psychiatrist or some person said that he obviously had some kind of controllable?
Well, it was Dr. Yeah, we did talk about that. It was Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Dr. Drew.
And what it was is Clinton in his autobiography, he went into depth about like his abuse that he went through when he was younger, and it's like that abuse lines up with what a sex addict would grow up to become. You know what I mean? And like a lot of his sexual assault accusations and stuff makes sense in light of his autobiography.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, and I totally didn't want to believe like that he was guilty of any of those. You know what I mean? Those accusations, but hindsight, yeah, I think he was guilty of like 95% of it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know about the rape application, but the Monica Lewinsky scandal, definitely. I mean,
I think was it Linda Tripp, his like secretary or whatever, was like in the bathroom with like bit her lip, and so she couldn't yell, and like it was graphic. It was more than just we got carried away or we were drunk. It was like held her down with force, with like foresight and like bit her lip so she couldn't yell.
mm-hmm.
And then when he like gets up afterwards and like throws her a towel, and he's like, "You better put some ice on that." So
well, what's really bizarre is that we have just these accusations of this.
Yeah, accusations. So this allegedly what happened.
But at the same time, prior to being elected, we had President Trump saying on audio, not knowing that he was being recorded, saying that he could do whatever he wanted to with women and he could grab them by the private parts, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't seem to matter.
Yeah, well, see, my theory on that is he never pretended. He never stood up himself and be like, "I'm an upstanding family man or citizen," or if you ask him like, "Was he a Christian?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a Christian." But he let other people be like, "Oh yeah, he's a great man," and blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But he always represented himself like
he's just a businessman.
Yeah,
he's just a businessman.
Yeah, I mean, he liked women and cheated on each wife with each next wife.
Porn stars.
Yeah, porn stars on the side. And the other people, built him up to be something that he wasn't.
What about that thing when Stormy Daniels got arrested? Do you remember that?
No, who's she arrested for?
I can't remember, but it was. They ended up coming to find out that it was strictly politically motivated. Apparently, like they proved that the cops who did it railroaded her or something. Like, I don't know if they went all the way to make something up, but when we find out they completely had no justification no realistic reason for arresting her. I can't remember what it
Did
was.
she get off or whatever?
Oh yeah, she completely got off from it. But she was apparently stripping at a club. Like strip clubs bring in porn stars sometimes at the dance. Apparently, she showed up and after her session was over, the cops arrested her for something. I can't remember what it was, but
How big do you think her turnout was? Like just the spectacle. Like she's. I mean, I don't even know what she looks like.
I would think she would have a pretty good crowd.
She's got to be
Because,
about 40ish, you'd say.
Probably.
Yeah, like it's so. Just because of who she is, like that's history.
Yeah,
that's a historical stripper you're going to see.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that'd be like going to a book signing by Monica Lewinsky or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not that dignified. It'd be like
or something like that.
It'd be like going to see Mary Todd Lincoln strip. You know what I mean?
Or Martha Washington.
Martha Washington strip.
Yeah. Just imagine a video there like I'm making it rain and Martha Washington.
That's history. That's you almost have to go.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure I'm not attracted to Martha Washington, but I
might go get my picture made with her. After it's over with.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I compare this. And who I got an argument with one of my buddies the other day. Yeah, it's one of my buddies, one of my good friends. I'm not gonna say his name, but me and him got in this big argument, and I was talking about. I'm more of a. I think, in terms of the way I process pop culture and current events and stuff, I look at stuff and I just watch it. I try to keep a disinterested third party view of things. And who was I talking about? I remember the one time I met John Kerry at an airport. I don't know if you saw that. And I took a picture with him.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'll have to show it to you later. We were in the Charlotte airport, I think, and
he was on a commercial plane.
Yeah. We were just sitting there in the terminal, and I was like,
doesn't his wife own Heinz
Ketchup?
Yeah, and he's flying commercial.
Yeah. But so he walked by and he had a guy with him. I don't know if it's his aide or whatever, but I saw another guy stop and take a picture. I was like, that's John Kerry. And this was like 2013, maybe 2012. And I was like, I want to take a picture with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, excuse me, sir, can I take your picture? Can I take a picture with you? And he's like, what are you doing? And then he's tall, man. That dude is tall.
He's like 6'8" or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, I was looking like dead in his eyes.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
You're 6'5"? Okay.
I mean, I was looking dead in his eyes. And so he asked me how I was doing and made small talk with me. And then I was like, thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he was like, thank you. And he turned around and walked off. But it was very cool, man. And I told my buddy about it because I was real proud of it.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy was almost president of the United States, and he's regardless of your political affiliation, he's a significant figure in American history.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'd have never taken a picture with that son of a gun. And I was like,
what did he stand for that was that controversial?
Well, hold on. And then we got into this whole topic of, he's like, you'd probably take a picture with anybody, wouldn't you? I was like, actually, yeah, I would. And then because I was talking about Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Like if I saw Stormy Daniels, I'm like, this is pretty cool because this person's historically significant. I'd like to get a picture made with them, or this is somebody that's seen on TV. I don't care.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll take a picture with them.
I think Trump might be my only exception. Like a person I wouldn't like. Even like we're gonna start keeping score. That was mine.
Okay.
That's two. I think even like Strom Thurmond, who's like a big segregation from the 40s or whatever. Like even him. Like I would take a picture with him.
How about like David Duke?
No, like the Klansman.
Yeah.
No, that's different. Like
even though he's a politician, oh yeah, he's an elected politician.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
David Duke, the head of the Klan.
That's why he's famous. Hold on, let me show you. David Duke.
He ran for president.
Oh no, he's
I'm almost sure he He no way he got elected to an office as a Klansman. It's a terrorist organization.
Oh,
Because it was like one of the softball presidents to President Trump. It was like, do you?
yeah.
No way.
He was the 5th Grand Wizard of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Okay.
In office.
In office as the Grand Wizard.
But then he was a member of the Louisiana House of Representatives from the 81st District from 1989 to 1992, 9 years after he was a Klansman. Yeah, he's a politician.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
Nah. Well, no. What was that? One term? 89? Yes, that's one term.
But yeah, I mean, he was elected. I can't believe you didn't know that. That's big. That's why he was like, wow, they'll elect anybody.
Wow.
You didn't know?
No, I wouldn't take my picture with a Klansman.
Well, no.
Probably. That's a good one. That's a tough one. I wouldn't take my picture with Trump just because like some of the things he said are so toxic. Like, but I did like at Pence. I'd probably take my picture with Pence just because he might stand for the same things, but he hasn't gone on record and been like.
Pence seems like Pence gets a lot of hate just based off of like the shock therapy for converting homosexuals to straight,
Like private getaway camps and
stuff like that. But
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't seem. Where's your another one?
Well, I got two.
Go ahead. He doesn't seem as out of control as Trump, I guess. He actually seems like a.
Oh, by comparison.
Yeah, just imagine you didn't know any better, and just from everything you've seen, imagine that you was at I'm not gonna say cookout or something, but just like you were standing in line to get something to drink or something at a ball game, and he was to be standing there like it seems like you just talked to him for a few minutes and be a pleasant conversation.
Yeah, he's a reasonable human being. Basically, what you're saying.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is rare.
Yeah,
this is rare issue, but yeah, just like a reasonable person, we can agree to disagree on a lot of stuff and be civil about it. Yeah, but
did you get a chance to see the videos where Trump was talking about injecting disinfectant? Did you see them?
Yeah,
he wasn't being sarcastic.
I think he was just. I'm about to change it. I think he was just thinking out loud. Exactly. I think he was like free balling. He's like, I don't know, maybe some disinfectant. But the crazy thing is, like, a company came out after that, and they were like, yeah, we think we could do a treatment with like UV radiation.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the UV. I mean, he wasn't saying anything out of turn. I mean, of course, you're not going to inject disinfectant directly into your bloodstream.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. But as far as the UV treatment and UV killing the virus, I mean, I saw a company on TV locally that was offering UV cleaning services.
That's pretty cool. That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. Oh, and by the way, I had to buy a latch for the chicken coop at Ace Hardware, and they had a 4-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer for $3.99. I was like, "Ooh, I don't have any. I better grab that."
Yeah,
there's a little pump bottle, and you know what it is?
What?
It's like 0.02%. It's 1.01 through 0.02%
alcohol,
bleach.
Oh, really?
And the rest of it is just water. So I just paid $4 for that much water and like literally a drop of bleach. I didn't realize until I left.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, there was like how you make homemade hand sanitizer with bleach. I'm gonna change the batteries. Homemade hand sanitizer with bleach and stuff.
You know what's really sad? I went to get some hydrogen peroxide the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You still can't buy alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. It's still sold out.
Yeah, I try to buy some alcohol.
Because I legitimately need it because I'm running out and I can't buy any.
Well, I had to buy some witch hazel or something like that.
Right.
Which is like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol with it's like an oil-based rubbing alcohol. So I use it for like my clippers, like cut my hair and stuff. Cause you gotta have alcohol, like to keep the gears from like rusting up and stuff. So I mean, that works in a pinch. But yeah, you can't. It's almost impossible to find. I did find disinfectant
Yeah.
spray, but you got to ask for it. Like they don't put it on the shelf. There's like they're like, hey, you find anything you're looking for today? It's almost like a secret code.
Oh, got one running up under there. I'll take that.
It's almost like a secret code. Let's go ahead and change it back. That you got to know, like a speakeasy code, and then they pull it out from behind the shelf. He's like, oh yeah, you want some disinfectant? I got it back here. I told my brother that. He was so pissed.
Really?
Oh yeah. He's like, these mother effers, they got a disinfectant. I've been looking for it. I kicked somebody's ass. Let me find out. They got disinfectant. Like they're not telling people. There you go.
Speaking of things happening in Louisville, do you remember a few months back that guy went into the Kroger store with a gun and just started shooting black people?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? That was.
Dude, I was listening to a podcast today, and I didn't do the research. I didn't go back and look and see if this is true or not. But the guest was saying that in Texas, a guy went to a Costco and killed an Asian guy, his son, and like 2-year-old daughter, like stabbed them because he thought they were Chinese.
Oh, because of the coronavirus?
Because of the coronavirus. And this was like, yesterday or the day before.
I think we're doing a really, really bad job of. I don't know if it's the educational system or who it is that's failing us, but we're doing a really bad job of teaching critical thinking skills and just not being a general turd towards other people.
I don't know how you like. I'm a teacher, and I don't know how you teach that, man. Like,
well, yeah, it's not the educational system. I should have said that.
I don't disagree with you. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I don't think all that responsibility belongs on teachers to like raise kids. That's stuff that basic parenting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you being a good human being. Like I'm supposed to teach history and English.
Right.
Being values.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come from the family and the church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the real failure. Like I think that was. I won't say I'm happy about this outbreak, but I'm happy that check one of these ones are open.
No, I don't think anything's open. It shouldn't be.
Maybe not that one in particular, but I bet it's one of these. I get a feeling.
Oh, where they're coming from?
Yeah. But anyway, like I'm glad that like parents are forced to deal with the kids for once. Like a lot of kids drop them off, get them 6 years old and drop them off at school. Like, all right, they're your problem now. Now like they're actually forced to stay home and be parents for a little while. And like, you know what I mean? And like kind of see the fruit of what you've raised. And now you got to do. You feed them, you deal with them, you get them to do their work.
That's probably good in some cases, but you think maybe it's even worse in some other cases where the kids aren't in a good environment to start off with?
Oh, definitely. Some parents are like jealous of their kids to do better than them.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
If I had kids, I would be like, "Come here, Junior. You're gonna become very rich, and you're gonna support me as an old man."
Yeah, I mean,
I would be wishing for them to excel.
Yeah, to surpass you. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you're a rational person.
How messed up of a psyche do you have to look at your kid and be like, "I'm just."
Yeah, but you're a sane, rational person. You know what I mean? You're an emotionally healthy human being.
Oh yeah.
That some work was put into you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're actually raised.
Yeah, that reminds me of Precious.
Precious. I've never seen it. I've seen all the previews.
Oh Lord.
Right, yeah.
That's a trip, man. You gotta watch it, buddy.
It's pretty much that. I know she's like an obese African American girl.
No, I'm not going to give you any plot details.
Okay.
There's one thing. There's one point in it where I was like, I just had to pause and just sit there and think about it for a second.
You can't tell me what it was. What happened? If you've seen the movie, will people know exactly what you're talking about? Like,
Maybe. I mean, there's a couple of things, but one of them involves there's another one. It's like they disappear. But it involves the stepmother knowingly letting the mother knowingly letting the boyfriend have relations with the precious, with the girl.
Like knowing them?
Yeah. Yeah. Like knowingly letting them rape her and stuff. Statutorily. Well, no, not even that, like forcibly, I guess. But yeah, it's that movie's it's really hard.
Wow. Clearly. It's 33.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, they're all. Yours are all alive.
I don't know what they are. They're not roaches, I don't think.
No, they're like gnats. They're flying. They got wings.
They are flying, aren't they?
Yeah. But they jump right back up.
Yeah, like nothing even happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come in here.
Found out what kind of dog I have.
How many of those did Obama actually sit down and say, yeah, here you go, and then hand it off? Or was it just like military commanders who happened to be serving under administration that did that? Or
here's another thing to remember. Like, okay, Obama has ordered more drone strikes than anybody in history.
But did he actually order them himself? You know what I mean? Or was it?
Regardless, we didn't have drones before Obama, really. You know what I mean? How many drones did Bush have access to?
That's probably a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and even then, they're probably.
To answer your question, how many did he personally? I mean, once he authorized, okay, I'm authorizing drone strikes in Iraq. You can argue he was responsible for all of them. After that point.
Okay.
I'm authorized. He wouldn't authorize each one. He would authorize situations.
And then leave it up to the discretion of the everyone right in front of you.
Yeah, leave it up to the family.
Okay. Yeah, those aren't cockroaches or anything like that. Those are.
They look like gnats.
So if we ever get any use team, the present Republican and Reform Party from 1999 to 2001.
Oh, he wasn't a Reform Party. It says a lot. How many is that?
How can you get elected to office with your party affiliation prior to being American
Nazi? I bet there's a lot of Nazi sympathizers that just went down with speaking German. You know what I mean? They just didn't want to go learn the metric system. It was like, okay, this might be a war worth fighting. But there's a lot of Nazi sympathizers, not anti-Semite sympathizers. Hitler was really pretty popular, even during the 30s and 40s in the United States. There was a big German American population here.
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah. So yeah, you get the right place at the right time. I could definitely see him getting elected to a small office. It's not going to fly on a state level, I would hope. But Florida still has a rebel flag.
But that's what you see though in things like Charlottesville. I think it's just one of those things where, as a society, we're like, yeah, that exists, but let's pay attention to this. Let's not pay attention to that.
What do you mean? How's that?
I don't know, man. It's just like the fact that how many thousands of people just showed up and openly were like white supremacists and just boldly went out without any fear of
retribution
or like just boldly were like, yeah, I'm doing this, so what of it?
I mean, bolden by the president, man. I mean, I knew when he was running, that was one of the things that was going to happen. He was going to embolden people with that line of thoughts. Like, okay, we got somebody who kind of sides with us in office. I mean, if you just listen to what he was saying on the campaign trail, I was not surprised at all. Like when here in Richmond, right after he got elected, they defaced a bunch of school buses and put KKK.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
See, and that's another thing. It happened 10 minutes from here, or less. 5 minutes from here, I guess. I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, and then I think they tried to cover it up pretty quick. And you never know. Like I know at one of the schools I worked at before, um, somebody got in and they put KKK on like all the windows, and it turned out to be a black kid who did it because he wanted to. He was already like just destroying property. He's like, oh, I know how to throw them off, and then so he put that on there. Now it wasn't politically motivated. He just was an idiot.
What do you think of with Jussie Smollett? What do you think happened with him? You think
He's
he
an
was just
idiot.
looking for attention?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
I think it was.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of currency in being a victim. You know. There's Me Too movement going on. He's like, man, this is the way to really ignite my career. I'm the gay Tupac. I'm the gay black Tupac.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I know his story didn't check out immediately. Like I didn't buy it at all.
Yeah, it happened in Chicago supposedly, right?
Yeah, it's in Chicago.
The last time I visited Chicago, it doesn't seem like that those types of folks would be just hanging out there, ready
Yeah.
to commit an attack. Chicago's an awesome city.
I mean, just openly, it's a pretty big minority city. You're gonna openly have white guys in MAGA hats, assault somebody on the busy streets of Chicago.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen in November. Do you think, like, what's your take on it? Do you think elections even going to happen? Just based off everything that's happening already. I think there's going to be some shenanigans go down.
Oh, there's definitely gonna be shenanigans. Like it's May.
Yeah,
May
so you're talking 6 months
June,
away.
July, August, September, October, November.
5 months?
November, excuse me.
June, July, August. 6 months away.
6 months away. Yeah.
So and California's already said that they're extending their lockdown through July into August. Right. So we're even best case scenario in one of the
LA said that.
I thought it was the entire state.
Maybe
Maybe just LA. But either way, we're still talking about having a lockdown in these major metropolitan areas 3 months, August, September, 3 months prior to the election. So what I'm thinking is that there might be some screwy stuff going on as far as whenever let's say if Joe Biden was to win, Trump's not going to accept the results.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. I'm more worried about somebody caught saying this wasn't a legitimate election.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And then we'll have the first non-peaceful transfer of power in our country's history.
And it's weird how you keep hearing things. I keep hearing about a second civil war.
Mm-hmm.
That could be almost something that even pops that off. You know what I mean? I mean, it's obviously not going to happen. Just we like to theorize about aliens and stuff. Like imagine the planets and everything that align. And we've already had armed dudes with rifles going into the Capitol buildings and surround the police and yelling at them. I mean, at what point would it take for them to like, oh well, hell, and then bullets start flying?
Yeah, civil war is a strong word.
Yeah, just be probably several skirmishes happen.
Yeah, I could see a bunch of militias getting together, and there's some resistance that way. But well, then again, I mean, hey, if you got a Trump in office who's like, I don't recognize the results of this election, and then you got an incumbent who's like, well, actually, you need to yield power. That's bad right there. You got a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do. Like if you're a general or you're Secret Service, whose orders you follow at that point. You know what I mean? You got somebody who hasn't been sworn in, quote unquote, officially yet.
There's a Vice mini documentary about the 3%ers.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that? Oh, Vice, the Vice channel.
No, what? Like the top 3%?
No, the 3%ers they're like a militia group, or like the militias, and it shows their training and what they think's happening, and
I got
how they're preparing. Yeah. And I don't know. I just think that maybe would see some of those guys going down in a blaze of glory. Maybe I don't know.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
And it kind of happened with the Bundys. Remember that when for the Bureau of Land Management back in, was it last year or the year before?
Was that where they were fighting about
In Oregon.
grazing rights or something?
Yeah. And
Was it
then
Oregon or was it Nevada?
I can't remember. I think it was Oregon. Because
Okay.
I remember then they finally chased down the SUV that had, I think the FBI or the state police or whoever chased the SUV down. It was actually snowing. There was snow on the ground, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But they ended up shooting him. And I think
did they?
Oh, they shot him, killed him, yeah. But then the guys that survived and finally turned themselves in, they found them not guilty.
I thought so, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody got killed off of that. I know.
Oh yeah, there's a video of it. Like they were recording inside of the SUV, and there was a helicopter that recorded it too.
Did they give him a chance to surrender, or
No, he wasn't.
he wasn't thinking about surrendering?
He went to his pocket like he was. I don't know if he was pulling out a gun, but he definitely went to his pocket like he was grabbing at something, and they shot him and killed him.
Like he wasn't going down.
Yeah, he was a true believer. He was a believer, man. I don't know. I don't know. I just wonder. And we talked about the MK Ultra. I just wonder how many of like what programming it got to folks like that to make them go to that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or was it in? Or would if there wasn't social media or constant availability of information, would they have done that? I think they may have, because things like Ruby Ridge happened before internet, right?
Ruby, is that Waco, Ruby Ridge?
No, Ruby Ridge is the one where the guy sold. They talked him into selling a sawed-off shotgun, and then they got a warrant and went out to his house and shot his kid and wife.
What was this? Where was this?
It happened right before Waco, like a few months before Waco. So like 92, 91, 92.
They set him up like they.
Yeah, they had like an informant having him sell him a sawed-off shotgun, and where it is, I guess it depends on the source. If you read a right-leaning account of the events, he didn't want to do it, and they talked him into doing it, almost like entrapment. But either way, he sold a illegally sawed-off shotgun to an FBI or ATF informant, and then off of that, they got a warrant to go to the house to serve, and he had a compound out in the middle of the woods, and he didn't want to go, so they ended up shooting his kid, his 13-year-old son, and his wife.
Oh wow!
And then he finally turned himself in. And then Waco happened a few months later, or a year later, or how long it was.
Oh wow! No, I didn't. I totally missed that story. But yeah, so you think that they saw that and they were like influenced, like we're not going down without a fight, and the government overreaches.
Oh yeah, there's definitely like an anti-government contingent out there right now.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Anti-authoritarian.
Yeah, it's just such a weird time. Like there's such a weird convergence of anti-science, anti-authoritarian stuff. We're like, I'm not wearing a mask.
Yeah,
it's my right to not wear a mask. Well, what?
And I wonder, like, are they worried that, like, okay, if we yield on this, like, they're going to slowly start taking our rights away? You know what I mean? Like, if today it's masks, tomorrow it's
I think that's what it is. Enforced vaccination. I've been hearing that. Like, I was listening to some talk radio today, and they were talking. This people were like, "I'm not taking a vaccination," and then like that. I
almost kind of get it on vaccinations, because I can see people like, I don't want to be the first one to take a vaccination. I think
people don't like to be told what to do. Like, or not necessarily that, but like they don't like to be told something's mandatory.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's exactly it. I mean, and I think it's a uniquely American
I think so
point of
too.
view.
Because remember, that's why Obamacare, the big issue that the right had with Obamacare, whenever it came out, they were like, this is unprecedented that the government's telling that you have to have something. Like you had to have health insurance. It's like it's a requirement that you have to have health insurance. And that was like a sticking point for a lot of the Republicans because they said that the government should not be able to say, to dictate that you have to purchase something.
Yeah.
And that's what they were saying that by them saying that you have to have health insurance under Obamacare, that was the government overstepping its bounds.
Yeah, and they kind of get a point with that. I mean, I totally see where they're coming from, but the hospital has to take care of you if you get sick.
Right.
And say so. It's not in the vacuum that they're asking. I mean, you can opt out if it was like a waiver. It's like, okay, I'm going to opt out of mandatory health insurance, but you're under no obligation to take care of me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that applies in exact opposition to what the stance is. If you go to the hospital, like if you go to the emergency room, they have these signs up that says, regardless of your ability to pay, we're
obligated to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just had like a little wristband, but yeah, then you didn't. Okay.
But then they would be like, well, I'm not wearing this because then it's going to identify me and track me because of.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just I think that's another topic that we can talk about, just how the emergency room is taking the place of primary care physician. Do you notice that? Have you heard about that? Just how like nobody's like, well, I got this wrong with him. Better schedule an appointment, go to the doctor. Like people are just going into like the emergency room for things either they shouldn't even be going to the hospital for in the first place, or something they should be seeing their primary care physician for.
Something that could have been taken care of. They wait till it gets terrible, and then they have to go to the emergency room. Yeah, it's another aspect of it. But I would like to think that once because of Obamacare, people are going to see their doctor more. It's like, hey, I'm paying for this insurance. I might as well go use it. You know what I mean? How many people are in that boat?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I keep hearing about the socialized medicine in European countries and how it's in the United States. Like if you don't have health insurance, you're just one minor incident away from being indebted for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Think about if you had to stay in the hospital for a week.
Yeah, you're $250,000 in the hole at that point.
And yeah,
Which insurance premium went up too. I was talking to my friend. He's got a wife and 2 kids, and it used to be you could if you had a wife and a couple kids, you could get the family plan for $150, $200 a month, right?
Yeah.
Now where he works, apparently it's like $1,200 a month.
Oh wow!
Out of your pocket.
Oh wow! Where's he? Yeah, where's he working with it? Went from 150 to 12.
He lives in Jefferson County and works for the government. Like apparently, like the cheapest family plan for his wife, and 2 kids is $1,200 a month.
Wow, that's the cheapest.
What I said. That's strictly
$1,200. So let's say $600 every 2 weeks every paycheck.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're making $45,000, $50,000 a year after you've been there for a couple of years, your take home pay is what? Your take home pay.
So it's like $4,000.
Yeah, it's about.
A month.
You're probably making about. If you're making about $3,000 a month, bring home. Maybe a little bit more. But either way, if you got a $800 to $1,000 mortgage, you're paying $1,000 for that, and then $1,200 for your family's health care.
So his biggest expense every month is health insurance.
Well, I think his wife's got a job, so I don't know if they split it up somehow.
Yeah, but
either way, he's not paying the $1,200. But she's got health insurance coverage, so they're.
That's insane. I remember, like when I first got in the Guard, I think for a single person it was about $40.
Mm-hmm.
For a couple, it was maybe 70, 80. For a you could be like a dad plus one or something. and it was like 120, like you plus a kid, and then like a family, it was maybe 200. And then by the time I got out, it was like 2009.
Mhm.
And then when I got out, a family plan, like they did away with everything but single and family. So if you're a couple or family, it's the same price. And so like a single person was like $100, and then a family was like 250, and that was like considered extremely reasonable because it was like National Guard
Right.
insurance.
And then you have a bill. Can you go to the VA too, right?
Yeah, I go to
Can the
VA.
family go to the VA? Or is it just
It depends on like the circumstance. Like if I was like injured in the line of duty or something, like if I had got shot or something, and like they get these extra benefits, they can go, but it's the same as going to a hospital. Like even me, like if I go to a VA, I still have a deductible.
did they set it up though to where if you can go to the regular hospital and then the VA will take care of it? Like you have to submit a claim or something?
If I was injured and like there was no VA close to me,
Right.
I could go to like a regular hospital. Yeah.
Okay.
And
But if it's just something you regularly scheduled, you have to go to the VA to get it taken care of.
there's all the VA is for me, for somebody like me, like I said, I wasn't shot, I wasn't blown up or anything like that.
Yeah.
So to me, the VA is just like a quicker alternative to like going to UK.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I'm still paying the same deductible for the visit. I'm just
What?
keep,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's for wartime. Is that what it is?
well, it's for like if I was like still in, and yeah, because here's the thing, like if you're in the army, if you're like in the active duty army, you got an on base hospital you can go to,
Okay.
and like that they take care of it. If you're like in the guard or the reserves, yeah, you can go to the VA, because it's like you're still in, so it's like you're going to sick call or whatever.
But then if you retire out, is that how it works? And if you retire out, then you get
If you're like
benefits?
if you're like 20-year retired, yeah.
Okay.
But if you just like did like me, I just did one contract and get out. Then it's like just going to the hospital. Like I said, still deductible price and stuff, which is still good. Like when I got really sick at the time, my stomach was messed up. I mean, I was in a bed. I was in the emergency room, but I was in a bed in like 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, for a stomach pain. Like it was bad. Like it was the worst pain I probably was ever in.
What was wrong with you?
It was just like a blockage.
They have to do surgery?
They were going to. They're going, but it cleared up on its own. Luckily, they gave me morphine. Like the pain was that bad.
I've had morphine, I think, 3 times.
Oh really?
Yeah. Do you remember it?
When you were in the hospital?
No, I mean, do you
I do
remember?
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I ever had it. I didn't have like that euphoric. Oh,
But I remember, like, I felt it coursing through my veins.
I did. I did feel that. Like
I remember, I felt it like going.
I felt it going. Yeah, like through your whole body.
I felt that, yeah.
But I still like it. It didn't feel like it took all the pain away. It was like the pain was right here, and it was like a cold pull all around it. But the pain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of like kept the pain in that one spot with a cold pull around it. That's the best way I can describe it.
I had a really bad migraine headache
Mm-hmm.
one time, and I went to Patty A. Clay, when it's still Patty A. Clay, and they gave me morphine,
It's just really good for that.
and boom, like instantly, it was gone.
That's what I heard. Like for migraines, it's the one magic bullet.
Oh, it
morphine.
was it within like they gave it to me. I remember Erica went with me, and I was in the bathroom puking my guts out.
Oh, the hospital?
Yeah, like we were in the waiting room,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just in there barfing. Like whenever I get migraines, I would throw up. And I was just in there barfing my guts out. And
was this like an exceptionally bad migraine?
Yeah, exceptional. I wouldn't go to the hospital unless. And I remember I think they actually did a scan on me because you may have an aneurysm or it's like some kind of tumor or something.
Now they give you?
But then they was like, here, let's give you this, and they gave me the morphine, and the second they gave it to me, it was gone.
Now did they give you morphine and then they gave you the scan, or did they give you the scan? It was like, we want to check you out first and give you the morphine.
I think they gave the scan first.
Okay.
I think, or maybe they didn't that day. But I've been with a bad migraine before, and they gave me a scan. Maybe I was in Middlesboro. Bad migraines though.
No, see, that's the good thing about the VA. Like they put me in that bed and they gave me that morphine immediately. Like once there's like, okay, you're in that much pain, here you go. That was the first place I've been where they like took your word for it. I remember I took my wife for like kidney stones, and she was like crying in pain, and she had to wait hours before they gave her anything. And I think they're like, okay, this might be like a drug seeking behavior, is their concern.
Well, that is a big concern. Though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think this was before. This was right before. We saw what's the pills called?
Oxycodone?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Vortex?
Well, I mean that
Opioids?
stuff was around the opioid crisis. This was before the opioid. Yeah, we still had like the oxycodone and stuff, but not in
Xanax used to
Lexington.
be really big.
That's
Xanax
big.
bars.
That's big now.
Is it still big?
Yeah, for like high schoolers in Lexington.
And the Adderall, do they still do the Adderall?
It's college.
Oh, yeah, they do have to study, right?
Yeah, I think it's less to get high and more to get a paper done. Or like fighters. It's like a competitive. Like pool players, you boxers, UFC fighters take Adderall.
Really?
Baseball players,
Really?
it's supposed to be like really big in baseball. Like makes the ball bigger and comes slower. Do pitches faster.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So just like focus.
There's actually a guy that I went whenever I was in geology. Whenever I was majoring in geology, there was a dude that I sat at a table with, and he microdosed LSD.
I heard it's not crazy to do. Like I heard it's not like it helps like soldiers like PTSD.
Yeah, he said that his concentration and creativity and just his general was far beyond what it used to be.
Oh, really? His academics got better?
Mm-hmm.
What was his major? Was it like art major?
Geology.
Geology. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty math intensive, and I don't know. It helped him. He said, "I don't know." I was just been scared to do that. I was afraid I wouldn't come back.
Have you heard of it? Like legitimately heard of that happening? Not like on the internet or
Like somebody not coming back.
Yeah.
Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd did.
That wasn't a microdose though?
Oh, microdose? Oh no. He just had a bad trip and never came back. I don't know about microdosing. I don't know anything.
And what does that mean? He had a bad trip and never came out.
Apparently, he just lost his mind. I'm pretty sure it's Sid Barrett. Yeah, Sid Barrett acid. Yeah, LSD created and destroyed his career.
No, what was it like? He couldn't play the guitar anymore, or he couldn't be left to his own care.
Yeah, an over-reliance on psychedelic drugs drove the rock star from the bounds of reality. I think it just made him crazy. Literally lost his mind.
Wow, I need to research that.
Yeah, but one thing I would like to do though is
mushrooms.
No, I don't need to be messing with any kind of illegal drugs, but I would like to do like Joe Rogan has that sleep deprivation tank, or not the sleep deprivation, sensory deprivation.
Yeah,
I'd like to do that.
It's supposed to be pretty similar, like I guess it's more like deep meditation. Just like blot out all the distractions.
Yeah, like that scene in King of the Hill where Dale Gribble, the dude with the glasses, he's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be alone with my thoughts. And then a couple seconds later, he's running the screen. He's like, "No, leave me alone with my thoughts."
Touche.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just I'd like to try one of those. Don't you just kind of float in water?
Yeah, it's like
inside of an egg.
Salt water. So you like you said, so you float, and then I don't know how to keep air in there though.
Yeah, I wonder how to keep air in there.
Yeah, because it has to be watertight at some point.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just the top is really loose or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I think like the main thing is just you can't hear because you got water around your ears, and you're floating, so you're still like bumping to the sides and stuff.
I'd just be afraid somebody come and lock me in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Put a chain around it. And...
Well, I guess it's not that. Yeah, it can't be that tight, like a coffin.
Speaking of which, you watched What We Do in the Shadows? Have you ever watched that?
Sounds familiar.
It's like a like the
Is it on Hulu on Netflix?
Yeah, you can see it on the TV. There's two different ones. There's the TV series and the original movie.
Okay.
The original movie's hilarious. It's vampires, but it's set up like The Office, where it's like a camera that follows them around.
Are they in Alaska or something like that?
I think they're in New York City.
Okay.
But it's just hilarious. It's just it's so stupid and funny.
So it's like an office-based vampire.
It's kind of like similar to the Office style of like the way the camera follows them around, and yeah, it's just funny. You gotta check it out.
I definitely will.
I got the movie on DVD downstairs.
Oh yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
The TV show, the series is definitely.
Okay.
I watched it on Hulu.
It's been 3 hours. So,
Okay.
You have anything you want to get in for the night?
I just noticed that this bottle of Pepsi, the 16 ounce, has 116% of your sugars for the day. Just one bottle. Okay.
Wow. What do you think's more bread or sugar?
Probably sugar.
Yeah, I probably agree.
Just
like
sugar will rot your teeth out. I don't know if bread will rot your teeth.
There's no you need some carbs on occasion. Like there's never need for sugar. Like that kind of sugar. Like there's sugar.
Yeah, it's not even
fruit.
sugar. It's like high fruit. That's corn syrup.
But even if it was like natural cane sugar, like there's no need.
Well, the natural cane sugar tastes better. That's why the Mexican Cokes are so delicious.
Oh yeah, it tastes a lot better. But I'm saying there's no dietary need being met.
Yeah, I think I watched something about high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup.
Oh, it's just like corn. It's in literally everything. Because they can grow so much corn, and they can make it taste like anything, and they can put it in everything.
You can run your car off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, like the corn is literally like anything. You name it. Steak. There's corn in steak.
Oh, that's one other thing I do want to touch on.
What's up?
I was listening to, like I said, to Ground Zero, and Clyde was touching on the retrocausality.
Mm-hmm.
How things happen in the present, things happen in the present that are predetermined by things that happen in the future. And one of the examples.
What?
Yeah. And one of the examples he gave was, do you remember a couple months ago how the Burger King had the Impossible Whopper and all these places they're like, come get our meat, let's meet.
Yeah. Oh, and then now we can't
get. And I was like, well, we can't get meat. But they were like, this happened, like as a
as a consequence of.
Yeah, as a consequence of something that happened in the future, and like the current day prepared us for it. And he showed a clip from the Dead Zone also. Well, I mean, this is coincidental, obviously, but from the Dead Zone from 2003, where
what is that? The Dead Zone?
It's a Stephen King book, but it was made into a series where this guy, if he can touch people and see their future,
okay,
and he predicted a respiratory illness from China. This was in 2003. He predicted a respiratory illness from China, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from and all this other stuff. And he specifically figured out that chloroquine, the same thing that Trump was saying would help.
Get out.
No, 100%. I'll show you.
Well, no, I've seen somebody had made a tweet from like 2016, and he's like, I'm a time traveler from 2021. You guys are screwed in 2020. And then he went back on like a couple days ago. He's like, man, this tweet aged pretty well.
Oh, that was the guy from FARC, Drew Curtis. Yeah, Drew Curtis.
Oh, is he like an actor? He's like a famous actor or something?
Yeah, he created FARC.com. He's from Kentucky, actually. He's from Lexington, I think.
What is that, FARC?
It was like a
news.
It was almost like Reddit before Reddit was big.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, this is a good one to stop with. Have you watched this? Dead Zone Plague. Okay. Here.
All right, what's going on? Just let me think about where to start.
Well, he saw something. What is it?
Saw a virus. I think some kind of disease.
Virus? Like what? Like SARS?
I don't know. All I know is it's highly infectious and may be fatal. Right now, we could all be infected. If we take this outside, we risk the whole town.
Johnny, how big is this gonna get?
I don't know. We just have to do everything we can to stop this, starting right now.
He's right. All right. Here's what's going to happen. We need to make sure that everybody that's inside stays inside. I'm going to get a few deputies on it. We'll call it a lockdown.
Lockdown?
Well, until I come up with something better.
Alt, no. No, you cannot lock the school doors.
This is for your family's safety.
And that's what I keep saying. It's for your safety.
Will I get sick too?
Yeah. Maybe we should wear masks. What difference does it make?
Oh,
We've already been exposed. Let's get one thing straight, Mr. Smith. I'm responding to political pressure. You have no reason to be scared. Let me ask you something, Amy. Animals. You've been around any animals in the backyard, even, let's say, a skunk, a raccoon?
the back.
I'm going to swab the inside of your mouth with this little Q-tip. I'm trying to get a handle on this animal. Damn efficient airborne transmission. Blood tests and swabs aren't telling us much. We know it acts like a virus. It causes high fever and respiratory distress. Tracking and treating a mysterious outbreak like this would take the CDC months.
We better get started then. Anyone who hasn't been exposed already needs to wear a mask.
China. Is that where flu viruses come from? Yeah. A lot of viruses come from there. International flight to China. That's no coincidence. Whatever it is, it originated in China.
Time is not on our side.
It's like looking for a needle in a needle stack.
We have ruled out all the usual suspects: influenza, SARS, bacterial pneumonia.
How long is it going to take? Well, it took 34 days to isolate the coronavirus that caused SARS, and that's fast.
I'm authorizing
Oh, wow.
a quarantine on everyone who's come in contact with a symptomatic person.
That's got to be something I can do.
On the enzyme S viruses when they were
So the chloroquine would do this. So the chloroquine would do this.
The chloroquine.
This is it. This is your virus.
I'm sorry, but there's no cure for that. Chloroquine, that's an anti-malarial drug.
No. Listen, it suppresses the enzymes.
So we get all that from being able to see the future.
Yeah.
Welcome back, you damn fool.
Oops.
What happened? We started
Well, they were
everyone on
saying-
chloroquine, stopped the thing dead in its tracks. Now, the CDC would have figured it out eventually, but not in time.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, it's just like a coincidence or whatever, just based on.
Well, not only
I mean-
that, it just goes to show you like how long they're predicting a flu coming from China, just because of, like the habits and stuff. You see like the wet markets and stuff in China where you see that?
Yes.
Yeah,
And then the bat suit,
yeah.
where they just don't even kill the poor thing first. They're just like, it's like, and then just throw it down in the deep fryer and let it fire for a second. Then they throw it in the bowl and its mouth's open where it's been screaming.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that. I was talking about like where they have the wet market and it'll be like a
Oh, yeah, and there's
thing
like
of bats.
steaks. Yeah.
And then underneath the bats is like pigs, and the pigs are eating the bat shit. And, yeah.
Yeah, I read also that that's still happening, apparently. Even after all this, you can just go over there and those are still just, they're just like they were.
And scientists are like, man, we wish we could do that in a lab, but like ethically we can't. Like we can't do that. And this is like the perfect recipe.
Oh, just, what do you think? Let me ask you this, right? What do you think the response will be from the world with China now? Or do you think there will be a response? Or do you think, what do you think's going to happen?
Like, what are the options?
Just like where they're like, okay, we're done. We're putting sanctions, or
No, it's not on the table. The only thing I can see consequence of China is like we see the need to have certain things mandatorily made in the United States. Like we need to make our own masks. We need to make our own you know, critical medicines, that kind of thing. So we don't have to wait around for China. Antibiotics, yeah, exactly.
Isn't that insane?
That we're dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, that we can disagree on other things and as people, but I think that's something we should be able to agree on across party lines and across political beliefs that your country shouldn't depend on another country for stuff like that, right?
Especially it's not a close ally. It's a close trading partner, but by no means our interests align.
Right.
Yeah. So you're gonna let them? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I think that might be the only consequence.
Yeah, I don't think war's on the table. Definitely.
No.
But one of the things I've been seeing though is the potential World War III scenarios where it's like China, Russia, and Iran as like a trilateral union against the United States and Europe and stuff.
Well, I think when we killed that guy when Trump ordered that drone strike. Yeah, that was the closest we've been to World War in our lifetime.
Wasn't that crazy how that just happened? And they're like, okay, and then apparently they notified us that they were getting ready to strike one of our bases or whatever, and then they did just for a show.
Yeah, I mean they said like we're going to retaliate, like we're not just going to let it stand, and then they attacked.
And then they had enough time to get the soldiers out, and they said, okay, now we're going to bomb this, and then that was the end of it.
Yeah, and I think well the crazy part of that is like, you got Trump's officials. What I think happened is, all right, Trump, this is what's on the table. We can maybe do some sanctions. We can we can go and make a press conference. There are probably like 5 or 6 options. Like, or we can kill this guy. He's like, let's do that one. He's like, really? He's like, we've never really went with this option before. Are you sure? He's like, yes.
It's pretty crazy. I understand, the it's easy to oversimplify things, but I'm just I like to think about things like what would happen if that was the United States? Like if Iran targeted one of our generals and just killed him. We'd be in a full blown war at this point, I think.
Oh, for sure. But might makes right, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Then who was somebody, like a military dude was like a friend of a friend was. It was like a left leaning guy, and one of the military guys got in an argument. I mean, the left leaning guy's position was, well, we've invaded their country, and they're fighting back, and he's like, well, no, he saw it as we were. The military guy saw it as we were
protecting our interests.
Yeah, protecting our interest, and there just was such a stark contrast in the points of view that we were like an invading force in their country, and like I just said, what if like we woke up and some other country showed up in the United States, which can't happen. I sure can't be on the other foot at that point, but you know what I mean?
Well, there's precedent, like, United Nations can come in, like they've already came in and like condemned our prison system, like as inhumane and stuff.
Privatized prison system.
Yeah, just the standard of living, like it's like, hey, this is third world country prison system. We're a first world country. Like, there's no reason. Not jails, but like prisons. Like, there's no reason to keep people long term like this.
And I read the take that people consider modern prison system to be legalized slavery.
Yeah, I mean, like Louisiana, and we talked about that, where, like where they have prisoners where like 80% of the prison population is African American, out picking cotton, like today, and like the wardens and stuff are on horseback. It's just the optics are terrible.
Well, I mean, Louisiana, they like David Duke, the House of Representatives, right?
Yeah, and I mean that was the plan. Like right after the Civil War and Reconstruction, once the North left, You know, it's like, okay, we're going to get a lot of our cheap labor back. We're just going to go through the process of convicting them and then indenturing them. You know, so they turn their slave labor into prison labor by design.
Isn't that something? Just how like that, and like I just said, it's just common knowledge that people are like, okay, well,
what are you gonna do?
Or if either there are two camps, either you're not aware of it at all, or you're aware of it and it's like, this is horrible, and but what can you do about it?
Yeah, I mean, vote, but
Does it really matter? Oh yeah, and I guess I take that back. Yeah, it does. But if they can still elect on a local level, if they can still elect a previous member of the American Nazi Party and the Grand Wizard of the KKK to the House of Representatives.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a reflection of the will of that group. They're probably perfectly fine with it.
I don't know. It's so bizarre.
I agree. All right, brother. Any last words?
No, just you probably should plug your raffle again.
Oh yeah, for sure. That once again we're raffling off that 2009 Pontiac. And all proceeds go to Chapel of Valle. Once again, I want to send prayers out to his family. If you want a raffle ticket, they're actually going really fast. We only had like 80 left as of yesterday, of 250. $25 a piece. You can reach out to me, Pueblo of Richmond, or you can contact Esmeralda Wilson on Facebook. And once again, we're going to do that live May 25th. We'll do that right here and have the raffle. Anything?
No, I think that's it.
All right, guys. Thank you. Stay safe. Wear a mask. That's an order. And hopefully we'll see y'all next week. 6 for me.
I'm way ahead.
Should be in the stream. Check.
It's weird how there's so many bugs. You know what I mean? Like, where are they coming from?
You mean just in this house, or?
Well, yeah, in this house and in general, I guess.
Oh, okay. You see, like all the ants, they weigh more than all the humans on the planet.
No, but I believe it.